of the new fiscal year. So Happy New Year's. All right, there we go. All right, yay! All right, if everyone would please silence your cell phones, we appreciate it. Today, the invocation will be offered by Pastor Jerry Storrs from the Sunland Lutheran Church in Casa Grande. Let's see, and followed by tell you what, for the pledge today, do we have any veterans or active duty members in the audience? Okay, I'm going to ask, when we come to that here in a second, I'd like you guys to come up and please lead the pledge. Come to the front of the room. Okay, and then for those that wish to participate, if you can, please stand.
Let us pray. Eternal God, creator and ruler of all, graciously regard those who have been set in positions of authority among us, including Mike, Jeffrey, Stephen, Jeff, and Rich, that guided by your Spirit, they may be high in purpose, wise in counsel, firm in good resolution, and unwavering in duty, that under them our Pinal County may be governed quietly and peaceably through Jesus Christ our Lord, who lives and reigns with you and the Holy Spirit, one God, now and forever. Amen.
Amen. So gentlemen, if you please come, gentlemen and or ladies, please come forward and lead the pledge for us. Nobody will take your seats. And ladies, there we go.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you all for your service. All right, and let's see. So, with that, welcome to the Pinal County Board of Supervisors July 1, 2026 regular meeting. In case you hadn't noticed, Supervisor Miller is not here today, but that's the empty chair down there. Item number 1 here is acceptance. Sorry, too much coffee this morning. So, acceptance of a donation, and it's a discussion, approval, disapproval of accepting the donation of fully engraved stainless steel replicas of the Declaration of Independence, the U.S. Constitution, the Bill of Rights, and the Civil Rights Amendments from the Charters of Freedom America 250 Project. I believe we have Ms. Moreno here. Maybe? Well, I know, but I'm looking at the name. I got Dana. Dana's doing it. Okay, I'm just checking to make sure, you know. They tell me stuff and don't tell me everything, so. Good morning, Ms. Lewis.
Good morning, Chairman McClure, members of the board, Dana Lewis. I'm here on behalf of the Arizona Association of Counties. We were approached in early January in regarding this gift in recognition of the country's 250th birthday. They reached out, and we found out later that to accept a gift of this magnitude, we must have the Board of Supervisors' permission. So I come before you today, as you can see these fabulous pictures. These are 5 pieces of stainless steel that have been engraved with important replicas of our country's history. They weigh about 500 pounds, but will be displayed at the Votes Building, at our public libraries, and then hopefully eventually where our new repository will be. So if you would so.
I think it's a very generous donation. It's great for a birthday present. Anybody have any comments?
So we keep these?
Yes. We keep.
Where will they be?
Chairman McClure, Vice Chair Sturdy, these will originally come in. They will be showcased at the libraries first, do a little bit of a tour. Then they will also find home at the Pinal Votes Building, and then eventually, we believe, in the administrative complex.
So we're going to tour them around until we can get a spot to put them is what's going on.
Hopefully they're vandalism proof.
Chairman McClure, Vice Chair Sturdy, I believe how we choose to encase them will matter.
Cool. Yep.
Okay. All right, so any more questions or comments by the board? In that case, I ask for a motion, please.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion that we accept item number 1 as presented.
I have a motion. Is there a second? Second. Motion is second. Those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Hearing none, motion passes. And I'm also, I neglected here, I know, I see, that we have a gift for our active duty and/or veterans that are in the audience. So, there they are. Okay, so hang on just a second. We're done with you.
Thank you.
Oh, okay.
What are we doing?
Who are the folks on this side of the room? Okay.
Any bet?
Raise your hand, please.
Yeah, raise your hand.
Anybody that wants work? Nobody wants, I have a dad that's a veteran. He would love one. You don't have to be a veteran. Anybody, yeah.
How many more you got? Who did not get one? Who did not get one? Right there. 1, 2. Anybody else? Get one. Get everybody? Oh, we need one more. Anybody else? Oh, there you go.
Everybody got one? Okay. Sir. Okay. Thank you all. Those are great points. Item number 2, 3, and 4 are executive sessions. And so I need to get a motion, please, to convene executive session.
So moved.
I have a motion. Is there a second? Second. Motion and a second. Those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Hearing none, motion passes. We are in executive session. We'll be back in a little bit. Those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none. Thank you very much. Motion passes. That brings us to item 5, discussion, approval, disapproval of imposition of penalty assessments on those Title 48 special districts for any periods of time that a special district is or was not in compliance with the reporting requirements of ARS 48-251. May I get a motion, please, on item, or are there any other questions?
No.
No. Okay, then may I get a motion, please, on item 5?
Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion that we approve to impose penalties, assessments on one special district.
I have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Hearing none, motion passes. Thank you very much. Item number 6, County Manager's Report. Mr. Liu.
Good morning, Chairman. Thank you. I know I'd mentioned earlier that we were going to have Dr. Ebert from the University of Arizona answer questions related to data centers and their proliferation and their status today. We're going to do that in a work session instead in August. It's just more conducive to conversation for you and for P&Z members. So I think August 12th is when we've got that rescheduled. And then I just have an update from Human Resources on how our summer internship program is going. I'm just going to read this, and then I know we actually have some of them here with us in the audience, so if you wanted, they could stand up and we could applaud them, but I'll go ahead and read this first. So this summer, we welcomed 57 interns from across the county to our Summer of Service internship program. They quickly got involved, working with our teams across departments and learning what it means to serve our community. They learned new skills, attended training workshops, and gained real feel for public service. They saw how local government works, learned about our justice system and elections, and picked up important life skills such as managing money, writing a resume, and interviewing for jobs. As they head toward graduation next week, we're proud of how much our interns have grown and what they've achieved, and we appreciate the support from our staff members. Both interns and supervisors have shared very positive feedback, and many interns are now more interested in public service careers. We'll have some of those quotes. They're pretty inspiring from the interns in the next meeting. So looking ahead, we're committed to making this program even stronger and giving students more meaningful opportunities. Thank you to everyone who helped make this summer's internship program a success. So if any of them are here, if they wanted to stand up and be recognized, that'd be great.
I think they all ran. Oh, there we go. Hey. But we did have more, but they took off or hiding someplace else. All right. Well, thank you, Mr. Liu. Item number 7 is presentation of certificates of service to employees for 20, 25, 30, and 35 years. You're up again, Mr. Liu.
Yeah, thank you, Chairman. We have 9 employees to celebrate this morning, and we'll go through, and I'll just announce the department and the director or elected officials so that they can introduce their employee. So Director John Fury is first for adult probation.
Good morning, Chairman and Supervisors. I'm John Fury, Chief Probation Officer, Pinal County. Thank you for taking the time today to recognize our dedicated employees of Pinal County. Today, we're here to celebrate an incredible milestone, 25 years of service by Ruby Duenas. Before I begin, I did want to take a moment to thank our wonderful partner at Coolidge Elementary School. 25 years ago, they entrusted us with a bright, energetic 10-year-old, Ruby Duenas. Somehow, they've never asked for her back. Of course, that's a joke. I want that on the record. She was 18. 25 years is an extraordinary accomplishment. It's not just a measure of time. It's a reflection of countless days of hard work, challenges overcome, relationships built, and lives touched along the way. You started here as an administrative clerk 1, which is not even a position anymore here. And you've promoted several times over the years to the position you're in now, administrative manager. Your experience, reliability, and positive attitude have made a lasting impact on this organization. You've been someone people can count on, someone who shares knowledge with others, lends a helping hand, and consistently demonstrates what it means to be a dedicated employee. So dedicated that now your sister and daughter work for Pinal County. What better compliment is that than to get family to come here? On behalf of everyone here, thank you for your 25 years of service, your loyalty, and the difference that you make every single day. We're fortunate to have had you part of the APD family, and we look forward to celebrating many more milestones with you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Before we do that, I want to say something quick. I want to express my gratitude to the incredible people that have had an impact during my career. My boss, Chief John P. Fury, for being an exceptional leader, providing guidance and encouragement throughout. And of course, his sense of humor, which makes it easier when we have challenging days. To division managers that I work with, Michelle O., Michelle A., and Amanda, thanks for being an outstanding leader as well. I've learned a lot from you guys, and I admire and respect them. To my amazing support administrative team, their dedication, teamwork, I'm grateful to have an amazing team to work with. And chairman and supervisors, I also want to thank you for your continued commitment and support to all our employees and making Pinal County a great place to work. So thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you very much. And don't run off, because when we get done, we'll do the picture routine. All right.
Next, we have our Clerk of the Superior Court, Rebecca Padilla.
Sorry. Chairman McClure, Vice Chairman Surdy, members of the board, good morning to all of you. I'm Rebecca Padilla, the Clerk of the Superior Court. Today I have the pleasure of recognizing Marilyn Masters for an incredible milestone, 20 years of dedicated service with the Clerk of the Superior Court's office. Marilyn began her career with our office in May of 2006 in our records management department. She quickly developed a strong work ethic and demonstrated the desire to learn, mastering every case type within the department before earning a promotion to our customer service department. Marilyn was later assigned to my Casa Grande satellite office, where she spent many years serving the community with professionalism, patience, and such kindness. Even while working away from the main courthouse, she always was one of the first to volunteer whenever extra help was needed in our Florence location, never, ever hesitating to lend a hand wherever she could make a difference. One of Marilyn's greatest strengths is her willingness to serve others. She's a quick learner who embraces new challenges, and she has a remarkable ability to make new employees feel so welcomed in our office, very supported and part of her team. Her work ethic and dependable nature have earned the respect of both her coworkers and our justice partners. In December of 2024, Marilyn was promoted to the supervisor of my child support and family law department. While this promotion officially recognized her as a leader, the truth is Marilyn has been demonstrating leadership qualities throughout her entire career with the clerk's office. She leads by example, encourages those around her, and approaches every challenge with integrity and a genuine desire to help others succeed. On a personal note, it has been especially rewarding to watch Marilyn grow throughout her career in the clerk's office. She's embraced every opportunity placed before her, continually expanding her knowledge and confidence, and is dedicated to our mission in the clerk's office. Seeing her step into this supervisory role has been both well-deserved and a pleasure to witness. Marilyn, I thank you for your 20 years of outstanding service, your commitment to our office, and the positive impact you have made on our coworkers and the public we serve. Congratulations on this remarkable milestone. I am grateful for everything you have contributed over the past 2 decades, and we look forward to many, many more years of your leadership and service. Congratulations, Marilyn.
Okay. So today I celebrate 20 years of service with Pinal County. As I reflect on this incredible milestone, I am filled with gratitude for the opportunities, experience, and relationships I've built over the years. It has truly been an honor to serve our community and work alongside so many dedicated and hardworking coworkers who have become lifelong friends. Throughout these 20 years, I've learned, grown, and overcome many challenges, each one shaping me both professionally and personally. I want to thank my parents for raising me to be the person I am today. Their love, guidance, and value have been the foundation of my journey. A special thank you goes to my mom, who is no longer with us. She also dedicated many years of service to Pinal County before retiring, and she has always been my greatest role model. Her kindness, strength, and work ethic, and commitment to serving others are qualities I strive to live by every day. I know she would be proud to see me reach this milestone, and I hope I continue to make her proud. Thank you to everyone who has supported, encouraged, and inspired me throughout the years. I am especially grateful for my family, who I didn't know was here today. The friendships, teamwork, and the shared commitment to serving the people of Pinal County. It has been a privilege to work alongside such amazing individuals. Thank you.
Next up, we have Jason Cantrell, Information Technology Director.
The chief, it says.
Good morning. I'm Jason Cantrell, CIO for Pinal County. Thank you for, oh, I'm sorry. I should wait till Lillian, come on up, please. Sorry. This morning I have an opportunity to recognize these two amazing employees for Pinal County IT, John Murillo and Lillian Smitch, 25 years and 20 years. First, a few words for Mr. Murillo. John started his career with Pinal County back in 2001 as a computer network specialist. In 2005, he was promoted to an IT engineer. As an IT engineer, he was assigned to our network infrastructure group, where along with the normal day-to-day maintenance and upgrades of our systems, he was pretty much the resident expert on anything the team was not familiar with. No one has worked on it before, give it to Murillo, he'll figure it out. For years, he worked in the background, giving employees tools to make their work life easier and more productive. In 2025, John was promoted to Chief Information Security Officer, where he leads the team that protects Pinal County from cyber threats. This is a constant growing and ever-changing problem that requires a very high level of dedication, skill, and knowledge. I've always been so impressed with John's way of thinking. He's always been able to see the big picture. Countless times, John has been the one to raise his hand and say, did you think about how it would change, how that change would affect this system or a different system? And then he would lay out a better way of fixing the issue. He has consistently found ways of improving the systems the right way. Throughout his career, he has never looked for praise or credit for all his accomplishments. He continues just to look to the next step, the next thing that needs attention. John, your contributions to Pinal County are countless, and I'm happy to finally give you some of the recognition you deserve. Thank you for all you've done. I'd now like to bring up Michael West, our Deputy Director, to say a few words for Lillian.
Good morning. My name is Michael West. I'm Deputy Director, IT. Good morning, Chairman McClure and members of the board. I just want to take a moment to celebrate what an incredible milestone it is for Lillian, who is marking her 20 years with Pinal County. Lillian's career began with the county in June of 2006 as a personal computer technician. Her exceptional work ethic was apparent from day one, leading to a swift promotion to personal computer analyst in less than a year. And she was promoted again in 2014 as a server application specialist, helping us manage systems like Polaris for the libraries, Chameleon for animal control, and maintenance connection for facilities. And then a couple years ago, when our primary support for OnBase left Pinal County, Lillian didn't hesitate. She stepped up once again and took ownership of our largest and oldest application. It's that exact drive that led her to her well-deserved promotion to Senior Server Application Specialist at the start of this year. To say Lillian is a hardworking and dedicated employee is a massive understatement. She brings a rare level of grit and commitment to this team. In fact, her commitment is legendary. Years back, I remember during the cooler months, she would regularly ride her road bicycle home from Florence to Casa Grande with Kent Taylor. After a full day's of work, that is. That is the exact kind of endurance and determination she brings to everything that she does. 20 years in Pinal County is an amazing achievement. Through every system upgrade, migration, and late-night server issue, Lillian has been reliable and a brilliant teammate. And for that, I thank her for 20 fantastic years. And Lillian, we couldn't do this without you.
Chairman and members of the board, I'll try to keep this short and sweet like me. 20 years ago, I walked through these doors with a lot of enthusiasm little experience, and 50 pounds lighter. Over the last 2 decades, I've survived countless meetings, changing technology, new policies, enough emails to fill several lifetimes. I've learned that a quick question is rarely quick, and this should only take 5 minutes is one of the greatest fictions of all time. In all seriousness, reaching 20 years is not something anyone does alone. I've been fortunate to work with incredible colleagues, supportive leaders, and great friends who have made every challenge easier and every success more meaningful. Thank you for your guidance, patience, teamwork, laughter, and for making the work a place genuinely I enjoy to come to. The memories, friendships, experiences I've gained over these years mean more to me than I can express. It's been an amazing 20-year journey. I'm grateful to have started it all with you. And here's to lessons learned, stories we'll never tell HR, and whatever adventures the next chapter brings. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
HR's not in the room, right? Okay, just checking.
HR is on vacation.
That's true.
Next up, we have Sheriff Ross Teeple.
Mr. Chairman, Vice Chairman, members of the board, Pinal County, I wanted to start with Louis Vargas, badge number 715, mostly because of the fact that he is so well liked. I'm pretty sure there's no deputy in the mountains right now because they're all out in my lobby. Louis Vargas' badge number is 715, and to the core, he is a mountain sergeant. If you live in the eastern part of Pinal County, you understand what I mean when I say if you're willing to work in an area where your backup is probably 45 minutes away running code, and they actually look forward to working in that area where the radios sometimes don't work, but the food is always great in Mammoth. Louis Vargas is a fellow Navy veteran, go Navy, beat Army. After he served honorably in the Navy, he started his career with the Mammoth Police Department, and he was hired by us in 1996, and he promoted to corporal in 2001, sergeant in 2007, and also in 2007, sergeant in 2006, and also in 2007, he was made acting lieutenant over the mountain region. Louis learned what my 4 lieutenants out there failed to learn, and I failed to learn, that the best job in law enforcement is a patrol sergeant, and he's doing an outstanding job there, and he had a couple words he wanted to make.
I would like to thank you all for having me here and for having the opportunity to serve my community for over 30 years now. But my career in serving community started when I was at the age of 14 when I joined the volunteer fire department in my community. That planted a seed in me, and even after I came out of the service, I had, like many others on the eastern side of the county, started working at the mines, but it just wasn't fulfilling to me, and that's where I found a career in law enforcement. You know, just to share a little story, myself and my buddy at the time, my partner, Dave Hausman, we were working one night, and we got a call of a young lady in labor on the side of the road. We got there, it was Dave's call. He said, "You got this." He goes, I'm not cut out to do this. We helped deliver a beautiful baby boy, and just as God's fate would have it, years later, I got reacquainted with that young lady, and she later became my wife and my oldest son of 24 years. So this career is fulfilling not just for helping people and working in our communities that we grew up in, but also on a personal level, that we can kindle relationships like this through the people that we serve. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I appreciate it, and as Chief Hoyles is making his way up here, I just wanted to point out that Andrea Kipp, 35 years of service, she's just recently notified us that she's retiring, and I thought, she's not here today, but I thought it was poignant to point out that she could easily retire and be very proud of her service, because by a show of hands, how many people in the audience were born after 1990? None of you? Everybody was born before 1990?
Two of them.
Yeah, I'm seeing several hands now. Andrea Kipp came off probation before you were born. She came off original probation in 1989, and Loretta Valdez, she would be here today, but she's working on the reentry program. You may remember from the last BOS meeting that she's recently been put in charge of the reentry program, and I hope Fager's sleeping because he's a graveyard detention officer, and this is the middle of the night for him, so that's why he's not here. Next up, we have Chief Hoyos. I absolutely say this without hesitation, that any success that I have in our adult detention center is directly relatable to him, Captain Scotty Rushing, and Captain Cameron Williams. He has just been an outstanding individual. His badge number is 712, and he started as a detention officer with us almost the same date as I started as a corrections officer in 1996. He promoted to corporal in 1999, lieutenant in 2005, and captain in 2018. And he very graciously accepted my offer for him to be the chief over the jail. One thing that I get when I walk through the jail is overwhelming support for him becoming the chief and being the first chief over our adult detention center that came from the jail, that grew up in the Pinal County Jail throughout his entire career in over 20 years, and he's just nailing it and knocking it out of the park. And I know he's got some words written down.
I ain't gonna use my phone because I probably can't see it, so I have to print it out.
Well, 30 years in jail, you know, your eyes.
That's right. Thanks, Sheriff. As you know, Deputy Chief Gilberto is here. Good morning, Chairman McClure, Vice Chairman Cedar, members of the board, and Mr. Liu. Today, I'm incredibly grateful and honored to celebrate 30 years of service with the Pinal County Sheriff's Office and Pinal County Jail. This milestone means even more because I have to add this in here. My journey really started long before I was hired. I like to give a quick recognition. In 1992, my dad, Gilberto Hoyos, sitting back there, joined Pinal County as the elections director and dedicated 27 years of service to 2009. So thanks, Dad, for planting the roots that eventually led me here at Pinal County loyalty. Well, one story I must share that I go back to, and I talked about it before. It's kind of ironic. When I was young, I remember seeing inmates working for my dad and his election crew in the elections department during the election season. And this was located at the time in the basement of the old building over here to my right where HR is at. At that time, I never imagined that years later I'd build a career working at the Pinal County Jail with and eventually supervising inmates, care, custody, and control. Just wanted to share that story. Next, these 30 years of service also belong to my wife. She's sitting in the back. Thank you for always being there to the fullest, your strength, your huge support, whether it was a good day or a difficult one for me, and challenges that I came with my profession. Heck, most recently being right now with my illness, you have been on full throttle to help me recover from my illness since the beginning of April to get back to work full duty, and I'm sure back to home duties too. In 30 years of my career, I've never been on modified duty. First time. I also like to thank my children for being there. Some of them couldn't make it today. Araceli, who's currently employed at the Sheriff's Office. Gabriela, Emmanuel, he's here. My oldest son, we call Little Gil, currently at the Arizona Department of Corrections, serving over there, here in Florence. As I reflect on 30 years of service, I want to thank every member of the Pinal County Jail staff who has served alongside me or under my supervision, and even currently now, from the DOs to corporals, sergeants, lieutenants, civilian staff, my captains. You all make the facility run day to day, and the reentry program staff. Also, it's been a great true honor and privilege to serve the people of Pinal County for the past 30 years. Before I wrap it up, I'd like to thank Sheriff Ross Teeple for recently believing in me and giving me the opportunity to serve as a deputy chief with the Pinal County Jail. I'm truly grateful for your trust and confidence. So again, it's been an honor, and thanks. Thank you, board, and thank the county again. Appreciate it.
Thank you. And now everyone that has gotten up to speak or been spoken about, could you please come forward, bring your pictures, we'll get a group shot.
Sheriff T, you're taking a picture, sorry. Did we do everybody on your list?
Yes, ma'am. Kip and Fager and Loretta Valdez, I made a mention of them.
Okay, just wanted to make sure.
Yep, thank you. Oh, Scooby.
There you go. You're gonna be over shoulder, come get closer to her, because I want all pictures all together. Scooch over. There you go. Oh, we're leaving one out. Let's do this. Because I'm gonna get you in here. I'm gonna put you on the end. Can you come over on this? Actually, well, but I want to keep you guys together. Can you two, because you guys are good, right? Can you guys come over underneath over here? Fill in, there you go. Just a couple inches, couple inches, couple inches. There you go. Come right up here. All right. Now, make sure you can see the camera, otherwise it doesn't see you. That'll work. That's a bunch of people. Why do we hire so many people? And look in here, big smile. 3, 2, beautiful. We're gonna do another one just in case. 3, 2. Oh, hold on.
I forgot to change batteries.
No, I did. I changed them. And we're gonna do it again. 3, 2. There we go. And here we go.
This is okay, but we'll get you.
Yeah, he does. All right. I'm gonna answer his little baby shower quick and then call her. I'll text Harold.
It's your day.
All right.
Nobody wants to say
Wait, that?
Now we cleared the room.
Mr. Chair.
Supervisor, thank you for coming. Supervisor Goodman, you had something?
You bet. As we're exiting, I just wanted to make everybody aware that most of the individuals that came up and have served this long have had family members that have actually been employees of the county. It's been a pleasure to be able to, these last 10 years, to be a part of Pinal County and even being able to help make things better for our employees. I've been a part of that with this board, and I appreciate the opportunity to be able to do that. Thank you for our long service individuals. We need them.
We do. Thank you. Okay, that brings us, let everybody get kind of out the door there. That brings us to item number 8, Supervisor District Updates. I'll start Supervisor Goodman, since you had the mic. I'm just going to let you start.
I should have just left it alone until then.
Could we shut the doors in the back, though, to, thank you.
First of all, I just thank everybody. July 4th will be 250 years that we've been the great nation, and we continue to be a great nation. And the opportunity that we have to the democracy, the country that we live in, and that we're all able to have the liberties and the freedoms. With that being said, I did go Hawaiian. It is in the country, so in addition to that, Santan Valley today officially is, they're responsible for all the roads and infrastructure and everything. They did take a good part of our staff to help them out there, so that's okay with me too.
You kept pushing them over there.
Hey, that's all right. At least they've got some good quality people to help. They are having tonight, the first tonight at 7 o'clock is going to be a big special event to kick off not only the celebration of 250 years, but Santan Valley as a community. It'll be at Poston Butte High School, a lot of different activities and things of that nature, as well as a big drone show. So keeping in mind, Supervisor Surtee, they're taking into consideration no fireworks, so that the drone show is going to be a big item and a big show. So welcome anybody that would like to come to that event, along with, we'll have a booth there as well as many others. In addition to that, in our booth, we have still the drive for school supplies for the students. We'll just bring any donations or anything that you want to bring for any of the teachers, the students. You can bring them to the booth, and we'll make sure that the appropriate schools that are part of this with us, the 2 school districts and some of the charter schools, that they get the supplies. One last thing, especially with the call to the public today. I would ask that we honor this great country and many of the men and women that have served, and your remarks be held in that direction of giving compliments and things of that nature of what and the values that we have here in this great country. On a personal note, I would ask that many of your remarks are directed to that particular item in regards to this great country that we live in. 250 years, probably the youngest country in the world, and yet we've survived and we've done phenomenal as a country. And we are one of the most powerful countries and most influential countries in the world today. And that's because of all the great leaders that we've had in the past. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Supervisor Vitiello.
Thank you, Chairman. Well, it's been a busy 2 weeks. I'm going to wrap up some of this stuff really quick because I've been everywhere, and I've visited and watched candidate forums in the city of Maricopa, one after another. Please get out and look at your candidates that are running for your city councils or your towns. Super important that you hear what they have to say and make sure that the leaders that you're voting for, you know what you're voting for when you get somebody. I've been to about 5 of them. Tonight is hopefully the last one until if there's a general, but I've been to 5 of them, and I'm going to be going to another one tonight. So to wrap that up for the last 2 weeks, what I've been doing. Also had a 347 open house, my 3 favorite numbers, I should say. We were able to get the starting of that road to be widened, which has been a big accomplishment in the city of Maricopa. So they started that. They're working at night, just in case anybody doesn't notice that. Please obey the 55 and 45 mile an hour, especially in the construction zones. We don't want any of these employees getting hit. So also attended a Maricopa Business Alliance, basically the Chamber of Commerce. They asked me to be on a panel with SRP ED3 about our favorite words, power, water, and data centers. So that was a lot of fun to be at. Also attended CSA's, we had the end of the year session, all the bills that were passed and weren't passed. So I watched that virtually online. It was, quite the experience to hear about all the bills. Also attended a Juneteenth luncheon I was invited to in the city of Maricopa. I was happy to be there. And by the way, happy Father's Day to all the fathers. We weren't here, so I wanted to just wish everybody a happy Father's Day. Hope you enjoyed it with your family. I sure as heck did. So, also attended I toured a data center in Chandler, a 619,000 square foot data center, and I was able to sit, listen, and learn and see what they had going on their data center. Attended Coolidge City Council meetings. I also virtually went to an open house for Night Peak. It's a gas-generated power plant. I virtually watched it, and then I went to their open house in the city of Maricopa. Also, candidate meetings, like I had mentioned. And then I was on a very interesting data center panel at ASU, and it was the Arizona Data Center Alliance. And originally, they only invited me from Pinal County. I asked them, I need to have some other people invited, so they invited the mayor of Eloy, and they also invited the mayor of Florence. We had a pretty good panel, and probably didn't make a lot of friends on that one, but as they say, I don't need any more friends. Also attended a very, very special fundraiser. Tori Anderson in the city of Maricopa, she has a women's shelter, and she has now started, because I don't know if people know, if you're in a foster home at 18, they say bye-bye. You just go out and fend for yourself. Well, she did this fundraiser called Dirty Boots, and it's for kids over 18 years old that we're going to try to build a shelter for men. We have the women's shelter, which is great. I support it 100%, and I support this also. So it was a great day. We had 100 people. She probably raised at least $25,000, $30,000 for the first event ever, and it was only 100 people there. And then that's it. Thank you, Chairman. Appreciate it.
Thank you, sir. Supervisor Surtee.
So this is the longest break of the year that the board takes. By the time we come back, we will have had 4th of July and Election Day. And I would ask that folks take young people with them to vote and explain why they're voting and get them in the habit of it. And the same way with the 4th of July. There's a lot of people that are against the celebrations. I don't understand that. And just teach them how we arrived at where we are, how many people had to die to give everything. They put everything on the line way back in 1776, and all of the wars that we fought. And, let them know that this new radical socialism that's coming, both parties, that's not us. And let's get back to where we are and let the young people know just how we did arrive here and make them go vote with you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, well, I don't have a whole lot going on the last couple of weeks. I took a week off, so I got to do yard work, tree trimming, pool, so, that was work. But for the 4th of July, for the 3rd, this Friday, will be Arizona City Chamber of Commerce and the Eloy Chamber of Commerce are putting on a fireworks show out at the old San Miguel, used to be the San Miguel Golf Clubhouse it's just south of Battaglia there by the I-10. So it'll be there 5 to 9, I believe, 5 to 9:30 on Friday. And that's all I've got going on at the moment. So thank you very much, gentlemen. All right, that brings us to update on related items. The Election Department, County Recorder, Ms. Lewis, are you still floating around? There you are. Good morning again.
Good morning, Chairman McClure, Vice Chair Surtee, members of the board, Dana Lewis, Pinal County Recorder, here to give you an update. These are our voter registration statistics. I pulled these yesterday. These will not be our official ones that we use for our canvass in August for the primary election. Two key numbers to point out: our active voters right now are 289,000 plus, and our active and inactive voters number at over 330,000. Our members in Pinal County that are on the active early voting list are 197,250. Wait, yeah, that big number on the board in copper. Small shout out, you recently acknowledged the presence of this Summer of Service interns. I think it's really important. They've been in our spaces, and we're thankful for that, and they've been helping with some of our communications. And I want to remind people that the practice of democracy is not passed down through the gene pool. It must be taught and learned anew by each generation, and that's a famous quote by Justice Sandra Day O'Connor. Uocava, we sent out 473 ballots. We have already received 49 back. We have issued for this election over 142,420 emails for those Uocavas, mailed over 141,000, and in person 313. I always go over this early ballot return number because returns don't always mean that I physically have them in my hand. Accepted are what we have in our facility. Canceled over 2,000, rejected over 2,000. What that means, though, for rejected, these are the ones that we sent a ballot and then it was flagged for us as undeliverable by mail, or the person is temporarily aware. Remember, the undeliverable by mail are the ones that create the National Voter Registration Act, where we then send another letter. It says, hey, do you still live here? And this is one of the things that cleans up our voter rolls. We did have one person send in their ballot. We received it, but they had already voted in person. And we have 12 that are in cure status. That means that we received their ballot, and either the signature doesn't match, it doesn't have a signature, or they didn't return the ballot. They usually return the instructions. So we're actively reaching out to those voters to make sure that they return that or cure with us before Election Day. People who want to check the status of their early ballot are requested to go to www.my.arizona.vote, and above that you'll see one of our fabulous little drop boxes, again on county property under recorded surveillance. Important dates to know, the last day to register to vote was June 22nd. Early voting began a week ago. The last day to request a ballot by mail is next week, July 10th. We request that all ballots be mailed back by July 10th. And the last day to vote early in person is July 17th, Election Day, July 21st. And the ability to cure any of those signatures is July 26th. Important dates for our party chairpersons as required by law that is noted on the slide. We require that they please provide the names for our hand count by July 7th. The hand count is the audit of the tabulation process. This occurs we pull the convening portion on July 25th, but we do the draw for that on July 22nd. Our post-election L&A is July 31st, and then our primary election canvass is set for Monday, August 3rd. Some other updates. A reminder, we are a received by state. We are not a postmarked state. This has come up again in regards to the recent Watson versus RNC case that we've seen nationally. Again, this brings it back to the states and, of course, the counties. That means I need to have your ballot in our possession by Election Day, not after. After I receive them, if it's post-Election Day, those ballots do get canceled. The SAVE system, the League of Women Voters versus Department of Homeland Security. We had the SAVE system. It was a great resource. It was most excellent at providing documentary proof of citizenship for voters. Then they changed it, and now it really doesn't do us a whole lot. So one of those things where sometimes litigation isn't great. E-poll books have been updated, and our poll worker training is going well, but yes, we always need more volunteers. Precincts 11, 31, 5, and 8 need inspectors. Calling all my Dems. And then I need about 9 more volunteers at some of our other voting locations. We informed the Secretary of State's office that the sample ballot household report is still broken. We send out over 250,000 sample ballots. These are for the people who don't receive an active early ballot in the mail. We're still required to send them, if they vote on election day, the information that they can be expecting to see on their ballot when they arrive at the polls. But we have to make sure that every PND voter knows that what a Republican ballot looks like, a Dem ballot, and a no labels ballot. So when you do the math, it ends up being over 250,000 items that are going out in the mail. So just like to let people know that that's happening. So when the reports don't work, it does create a little bit of a trickle-down effect, and they won't have them as soon as we had hoped they would have them. We are excited to see that our local political party observers are active in our voting locations for early voting. They have been very active, they have been communicative, and they really do love our drop boxes. ID verified stamp at the polls. This was something that was enacted with Bill 2785. Yes, we are doing this. No, it's not going to expedite the results any faster. Only voters with late early ballots can present an ID at the polls. You know, of course, if you're voting at the polls, you're going to show your identification, but if you show up with your late early ballot at the polls and you have your identification, we can stamp that as ID verified. But if you have your spouses and they're not there, then it still goes into the process. We will verify that you have the correct ballot affidavit envelope. Still doesn't make sure that I can verify what's in the affidavit envelope. So the only part of this that it really does is if I have a great signature on that and it's been ID verified, I won't have to reach out to that voter if that signature did not match after Election Day. We will have to still process each one of those ballots to ensure that that voter received appropriate voter credit. If voters want faster results, go vote early in person at a satellite office or show up on Election Day and vote a live ballot. So the item in the room, I was going to call it the elephant, but hey, we call it a donkey too, I guess. The precinct committeeman avid issue, we've sent out a massive amount of communications in regards to this. There are banners on the website. There are banners on the votes site. We've put out social media. We have reached out to our local stakeholders. We even went and we reached out to media and let them know this happened. It's better for them to know that this happened, for them to then ask or expect us to be hiding something. We were notified on Saturday morning or Saturday afternoon. A voter reached out and said, "Hey, I think I got the wrong ballot." And I was like, "Well, what do you mean?" And she says, "Well, shouldn't I be able to vote for myself as a precinct committeeman?" And I said, "Well, yes, ma'am, you should." She goes, "Well, my name's not on the ballot." And I said, "Ma'am, that's a problem." Automatically, we had staff members report to the office. We pulled open the Avid system and started comparing ballot styles to the one that was presented to that voter. We did confirm that she was correct. This did affect over 1,400 voters in Pinal County. It only affected Republican precinct committeemen. This isn't a rep or a Dem problem. It's because that was the only race for precinct committeemen was for two precincts, 28 and 136, where precinct committeemen outweighed the number of seats that we had. So if we had 10 seats and they submitted nomination papers for 12 people, that means it goes to the ballot. It can't be canceled then for that precinct. So that's when I see on social media, "Oh, it's happening to the reps again." No, this is just basic layout and information here. As of noon on Monday, we had reached out to emails to over 765 people now, sent text messages, and left voicemail notifications. We did confirm we were able to cancel all of those incorrectly issued ballots through the system, and then we were able to reissue them the correct ballots. Community stakeholders, media, members of the board, and county leadership have all been apprised of the situation and assisted us in reaching out to our community members. I apologize to Santan Valley and Queen Creek in the mix of trying to put a solution in place. I probably should have called the Great Maria and Miss Dana. So thank you for reaching back out to me for clarification of information. I also want everybody to know that correct ballots have been mailed. we took a problem that was really not ours, and we resolved it in about 48 hours. Our staff came in on Saturday, worked until 10 o'clock at night, worked most of the day Sunday, and then Monday reported early so that no voter could possibly be disenfranchised because of this error poll. Contrary to messaging put out by our election partners, the recorder's office reviewed all records. We did accurately proof our ballots and the information, and it still does remain a database issue.
A state database issue.
That is correct. A healthy partnership is where there is local advocacy, support, and guidance. When staff falter or need direction, leaders are consistent and should educate. Instead of being in a cooperative relationship such as this, I, as an election administrator, must be concerned with blame game, political polarization, and it being weaponized or used for campaign fodder right now. As an election administrator, I must walk the line knowing that trust means transparency and stand on my own integrity, but always weigh that too much information can suppress turnout or breed clickbait of disinformation. So having to be honest and transparent and say that no, we understand that when there is election problems, it's a human problem, so I hate pointing fingers. But this at no point fell to the staff in the Pinal County Elections or Recorder's Office. This is truly a query issue. And regardless, counties, they need a statewide voter registration database that works. And we need cybersecurity assurances. And instead of throwing taxpayer money at bubblegum, duct tape, and baling wire fixes for our systems, how about we fund basic infrastructure? State officials should be having conclusive conversations with counties, not having the conversations behind our backs and then letting us know what they're gonna do. Every great database is predicated with data integrity during initial programming. Our database is one of our source documents. This is what we proof off of. We are responsible for the creating of the election in the system, but how the system behaves and queries the tables for the reports we need or to identify the ballot style of a person voting early in person, that's systematic. Gentlemen, I stand for questions. Oh, wait.
Any questions for Ms. Lewis?
Always want to leave with the next election coming up.
Yes, I appreciate. I appreciate your abilities in what you did after getting a late night phone call and taking care of the situation. You did a great job.
I just want to say, Dana, we really do appreciate all the hard work you do. And, online you were taking a beating, and I've spoken to probably 20 or 30 people about it and explained to them it wasn't Pinal County's fault.
Yeah.
So I appreciate the hard work to get this fixed, and thank you for doing, and really just keep doing a great job that you are.
Thank you.
Nothing? No.
Chairman McClure, if I might say, when I talk about partnerships, I once again want to reiterate the fact that the partnership that the County Elections Department and the Office of the Recorder have with this Board of Supervisors and county management is a really, really wonderful thing. I hope all leaders across this county and across this great state and country look to the relationships that we have here and see how effective it can be when you govern together.
We've done a lot of work in the last 4 years.
Amen.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, next on the agenda is item 10, discussion, approval, disapproval of a proclamation declaring the month of July 2026 as Parks and Recreation Month. Yay. We've got Scott Hamilton. How are you today, Mr. Hamilton?
I'm doing just fine. Thank you for having us. I have Jasmine Frias with us today, who is our summer intern for Open Space and Trails. But good morning, Chairman and board members. I'm Scott Hamilton. I'm the Director of Open Space, Trails, and Regional Parks. We're thrilled to be here for the annual proclamation of July as Parks and Recreation Month. One of the many wonderful things about Pinal County is the wide array of natural resources, outdoor recreation opportunities we have across the county, vast expanses of Sonoran Desert, stunning scenery, unique geologic features, amazing flora and fauna, and a rich cultural history. We have numerous state parks, wilderness areas, national monuments, national forests, as well as some of our own facilities that the county manages, including Peralta Regional Park, which is the first of our regional parks planned through our Open Space and Trails Master Plan. Collectively, all of these resources connect us to the outdoors. They allow us to spend time with family and friends, discover new adventures, improve our health, and they give us a respite from the rigors of our modern lives. We do ask, however, though, that as we're finding respite this summer, that we're careful with the heat. You've probably seen a lot of heat messaging that Pinal County, as well as our other partners, have been putting out. We want you to enjoy the outdoors, but try to do it really early in the morning this time of year to avoid the heat. We do have an exciting opportunity that will help you avoid the heat. We're again offering our Bringing the Outdoors In programming through the month of July around the county, which is educational programming covering a variety of topics, including tortoises, wildlife, different flora and fauna. You can find out more by going to our website at pinal.gov, or we're also on Instagram and Facebook at Pinal Parks. So thank you again for your consideration. And again, we have Jasmine Frias here to read the proclamation at the board's pleasure.
Okay. We'll vote on it first, and then we'll have Ms. Frias read the proclamation. Board, are there any questions for Mr. Hamilton?
Well, just other than the statement, are you riding your bike like Kent did?
I live in Tempe.
Oh, yeah. Well,
no?
That's a little ways. I was surprised to hear that one employee rode with him every morning and back and forth from Casa Grande. That was pretty good. I remember Kent doing that. Anyway.
All right.
Well, with that, I'm ready.
You can.
Okay. Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion that we approve item number 10 as presented.
I have a motion. Is there a second? I have a motion. I have a second. Those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, motion passes. Thank you. Ms. Frias, please read the proclamation.
Thank you. Whereas Parks and Recreation is an integral part of communities throughout this country, including Pinal County, promoting health, wellness, and time spent in nature. Whereas Parks and Recreation positively impacts mental health, cognitive performance, and well-being, and alleviating illnesses such as depression, attention deficit disorders, and Alzheimer's. And whereas Parks and Recreation encourages physical activities by providing space for outdoor recreation, popular sports, and many other activities designated to promote active lifestyles. And whereas Park and Recreation programming and education activities, such as out-of-school time programming, youth sports, and environmental education, are critical to childhood development. And whereas Parks and Recreation increases a community's economic prosperity through increased property values, expansion of local tax base, increased tourism, the attraction and retention of businesses, and crime reduction. And whereas Parks and Recreation is fundamental to the environmental well-being of our community. And whereas Parks and Recreation provide adaptable infrastructure that make our communities resilient in the face of natural disasters and climate change. And whereas our parks and natural recreation areas ensure the ecological beauty of our community and provide a space for children and adults to connect with nature and recreate outdoors. And whereas the U.S. House of Representatives has designated July as Parks and Recreation Month. And whereas Pinal County recognizes the benefits derived from the parks and recreation resources. Now therefore, be it resolved by the Pinal County Board of Supervisors that July is recognized as Parks and Recreation Month in Pinal County, and do hereby commend the Pinal County Open Space and Trails and Regional Parks Department for their profound and enduring impacts they consistently make in our community. Thank you.
Thank you. And Kevin's coming. We'll get a picture. Board. I'm coming. You hold that.
Right between. And love the outfits, by the way. And 3, 2, we're gonna do another one. 3, 2, 1. Awesome, thank you.
All right. Okay, thank you. That brings us to item 11, which is Purchasing Division Report. Ms. Gorman, you're up.
Good morning, Chairman, Vice Chairman, and Board of Supervisors. Tracy Gorman, Purchasing Manager, and this is the Purchasing Division Report for July 1st, 2026. In this report, the Board is requested to approve one contract award for RFP 265131 for inmate core values and behavior coaching. The Board is requested to approve 4 contract amendments for RFP 230628 for weed abatement services, for IFB 240328 for pavement maintenance materials, we're awarding to 4 vendors. IFB 250529 for aggregate, slurry, and Portland cement, we're awarding that to 4 vendors. RFP 251830 for night vision equipment. There are 4 cooperative purchasing agreements we would like to notify you of, as they are between $100,000 and $250,000. And lastly, we are seeking approval of 11 cooperative purchase requisitions over $250,000. I stand for questions.
Are there any questions for Ms. Gorman? Hearing none, then may I please get a motion?
Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion that we approve the purchasing report dated July 1st, 2026 as presented.
Have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Hearing none, motion passes. Thank you, Ms. Gorman.
Thank you.
That brings us to item number 12, consent items. All items indicated alphabetically below will be handled by a single vote as part of the consent agenda unless a board member, county manager, or member of the public objects at the time the agenda item is called. Are there any items that the board wishes to pull?
Do you have some that?
I do, but
Oh, okay.
I'm asking you guys first. I'm being polite.
Oh, I think you have E for Miller, right?
Yes, I'm doing E for Miller,
Okay.
and I don't see, Mr. Sanchez, are you in the audience? I don't see him. Okay, I'm not pulling it. So E and then G, because Ms. Jane is there as well. You're pulling that. Okay.
G, right?
G, yeah, E and G. Any other items that anyone from the board wishes to pull? Hearing none. County manager? No. Audience? Yes, Ms. Podasky. BK and BM, okay. Are there any others that the audience wishes to pull this time? Okay, hearing, seeing none. This time I get a motion, please, on items A through BT minus items E, G, BK, and BM.
So move. Just kidding. I'd like to approve the consent agenda A through BT minus E, G, BK, and M.
No, BM.
Oh, sorry, BM.
Okay, I have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
A motion is second. Those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Hearing none, motion passes. Thank you. We'll start with Ms. Podasky. We'll just start downstream here. BK.
If it's acceptable to you, I'll do BK and BM at the same time.
That will work.
Okay. Last November was the first time I pulled a consent agenda. I think that the fact that I am allowed to do that is a reason for celebration along the lines that Supervisor Goodman talked about. It's a great thing about our country that I'm allowed to question things. I appreciate that. I appreciate all of you. The thing I pulled on November 7th was an agreement between the Pinal County Sheriff and I think it was Homeland Security, and it was post-dated. It started in July, but you approved it in November, and it started this whole thing I had about why are we doing this way, et cetera, et cetera. And I also wanted more information about it. And I think, at that time I said, I'm writing this on my calendar. I will not forget. I didn't forget. It's July, and I think it was either BK or BM. I would like, and I've told Sheriff Teeple I was going to do this, so this is no surprise to him. I think that we all agree that we do not support drugs coming into our country, but we do like to know information. And the first one, BK, Agreement 24AZ DOHS-OPSG-240416-01 is not particularly helpful. If you haven't found out the system that how to get supplemental material, so I'd like him to explain this. And I'd also like to offer an opportunity for him and the Sheriff's Department to talk about what they are doing for the county in these areas, because these are important areas. And being on a consent agenda, I don't think necessarily gives the weight to some really important things that needs to be. I think that these are important issues to the people of Pinal County. That's all.
Thank you. Sheriff Teeple. Sounds like she's giving you a public service announcement time.
Mr. Chairman, Vice Chairman, members of the board, Pinal County. I believe the item that she's referring to is BK, but I can definitely talk to both BK and BM. I'll go in reverse and talk about item number BM. I 1,000% agree with her that I don't know a person that doesn't want to stop illegal drugs from getting to our children. That's the big thing about this. My narcotics task force is not just Pinal County deputies. It's also, we have city agencies that lend undercover detectives for us. These are the guys that are out making drug buys. They're out at 3 o'clock in the morning conducting surveillance on the truly bad individuals, like the cartel member that we eventually arrested down in Tucson. And so this money is really needed for that, because at the end of the day, most drug dealers, and especially meth users, don't operate on normal hours. So that's why this overtime is so important for that, for as far as BM. And then I definitely agree with her that the federal government has way too many acronyms. And it's 24-Arizona Department of Homeland Security Operation Stone Garden is what that very condensed acronym mean. And Stone Garden is so important because that's assisting with stopping the smugglers from coming across the border. Especially Stone Garden was very important with stopping the human smuggling, when that what became the cartel's #1 bread and butter. And now it's shifted back to drugs, where Stone Garden allows the overtime and pays for fuel and mileage, so my deputies can be out there arresting people. Florence PD also participates in Stone Garden. Most city agencies do. And it's just so they can concentrate on overtime hours to stop the illegal trafficking across our international border.
Okay, thank you. Does that satisfy you, Mr. President? Okay, thank you, sir.
Thanks, sir.
Ms. Kennedy, can we vote on both these items at once? Yes, okay, thank you. If there's no other comments on these two items, may I get a motion, please, on item BK and BM?
Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion to approve BK and BM as read.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, motion passes. Thank you. Now we will pull item E. Item E is, let's see, I'm sorry here, let's see. This is actually for Supervisor Miller. Mr. Wilcox, are you here? You're right there. If you'd please come forward. I want to, on behalf of Chairman, or he's not Chairman, I'm Chairman. Supervisor Miller, that guy that's not here today, him over there. I want to thank Mr. Wilcox for his willingness to serve on the Law Enforcement Merit Council. That is truly a lot of work. All the volunteers that work on all our commissions, that is a tremendous amount of time taken out of your day. So thank you very much. Did you have anything you wanted to say about that?
Mr. Chairman and Board, I just want to thank you guys for the opportunity and for Supervisor Miller for entrusting me to serve on this committee.
Okay, and then I'm presenting you. Oh, okay, I'll do that. Thank you so much. Keep me in line. I appreciate that. Don't go away. May I get a motion, please, on item E?
Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion that we approve item E as presented.
I have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. And am I, there we go. Okay. Motion passes.
Oh, there it is.
So I'm supposed to look like Miller right now?
Where's your hat?
Where's my hat? Present that to you and this challenge coin.
Thank you.
And we've got,
Sure, why not?
sure, why not? What the heck? I think you want us over that way, right?
You're good at that. If I ever need someone to help out. And looking right here, nice big smile. 3, 2. Awesome. Do it again. And 3, 2. There we go.
Just Photoshop Miller into that, please. Okay, that brings us to item G. Ms. Jane, you are here. Would you like to do the honors?
Good morning, Chairman, Vice Chairman, members of the board. I'm Manu Jain, Director of Air Quality, and I'm here today to welcome Mr. Gerald Benedict as a new member of the Pinal County Hearing Board. Is he here? Oh, he did say he was going to be in attendance, right? He said he was going to be in attendance, so I guess he couldn't make it. But Mr. Benedict has been a resident of Pinal County for 69 years and previously served as a member of the Air Pollution Hearing Board. He also served on the Pinal County Industrial Development Authority and Casa Grande Elementary School Board. With his extensive knowledge of agriculture and broad industrial experience, I'm confident that Mr. Benedict will be an invaluable asset to our hearing board. We were going to have him take the oath, but I don't think he's in attendance, so.
Okay. He was here earlier? Okay, so we just lost him in the crowd. Okay. All right, well, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Okay, so with that, may I get a motion, please, on item G?
Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion on consent item G as presented.
A motion, is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Those in favor?
Chairman,
Don't
I'm
do
sorry.
that.
Yes,
Sorry.
need to state approve.
Yes, I'd like to approve consent item G as presented.
Okay, I have a motion.
I'm gonna still second
You're
that.
still going to second, okay. Motion and second. Those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, motion passes. Thank you very much. That brings us to item 13, which is, I would like to recess the regular meeting of the Pinal Board of Supervisors and convene the district meeting, the Public Health Services District Board Directors meeting. So let's see. So we will move to item 2, public health. This consists of consent items A through F. All items indicated alphabetically below will be handled by a single vote as part of the consent agenda unless a board member, county manager, or member of the public objects at the time the agenda item is called. Are there any items that the board wishes to pull? No. No, none. Mr. County Manager, none. Public? Hearing, seeing none, then may I please get a motion on items A through F?
Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion that we approve items A through F as presented.
I have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Hearing none, motion passes. Thank you very much. We will adjourn the Public Health Services District Board of Directors meeting, and we will reconvene the regular meeting of the Board of Supervisors, which brings us to call of the public. And call of the public is a time period for members of the public to address the Board of Supervisors to provide public input relating to subject matter within the Board of Supervisors' authority or jurisdiction. Those wishing to address the Board of Supervisors need not request permission in advance. An action taken as a result of public comment will be limited to directing staff to study the matter or rescheduling for further consideration and decision at a later date. And I've received a couple of cards here. I have Ms. Podolsky. You're up.
I'm back. I'm Dupila Daisky, and I live in unincorporated Pinal County. If I were going to give a headline to what I'm going to say today, it would be campaign sign dog whistles go awry. In the 1980s, the movie Starman was released. An alien had cloned the body of a human. He was driving down a highway and saw a yellow light. He immediately sped up. His passenger said, "What are you doing?" His reply was, "Yellow means go fast." If Starman attended a BOS meeting, he would assume that to be religious in Pinal County, one should be a white male Protestant. In the meetings I have attended, that group has given the invocation at least 90% of the time. Yet over 40% of the county's population is not white, and 49% of the population are women. The most popular religion in the county is Catholic, followed by Mormon, and I don't think I've heard clergy from either one of them give an invocation. Not to talk about people who are Jewish, Muslim, Buddhist, it goes on and on. The other yard sign, that was a faith thing, if you're into political science, is "We the People," beginning of the Constitution. And I want to draw your attention to the First Amendment, which says Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of a religion. This also prohibits government from creating an official state religion or favoring one religion over another. There is clear evidence that certain policies, if not creating an official state religion, definitely favor one religion over another. Texas demanding Bible verses be read and studied. 4 states mandate the posting of the 10 Commandments. And the Secretary of War recently slashed the number of approved religions in his thing from 200 to 31. His removal of Unitarians is so ironic. as John Adams, Benjamin Rush, Thomas Jefferson, and Paul Revere were Unitarians. I recently visited Auschwitz, and it was so moving to see the power of hatred, especially religious hatred, what people do in the name of it. And earlier I said I had core values, and I want to add one to that list. Silence is complicity. Thank you.
Thank you. The next card I have is Mr. Ellison.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman and Vice Chairman, Supervisors. George Ellison, Gold Canyon. I'm scrapping what I was going to say based on Supervisor Goodman's earlier comments, and I'll just call this a tale of two grandmothers. My ancestors came here from Greece and from Scotland, legally, in the early 1900s. My grandfather on my Greek side drove a pushcart selling vegetables on the south side of Chicago. That was how he made a living. They lived on the third floor of an apartment building in the south side of Chicago, which is not a big deal when you're young. It is when you become in your 70s, and that's where he lived and died. He never owned a home. His daughter was my mother. She obviously was born in America. I'm second generation American on the Greek side. She obviously learned English right away. She became a teacher. She had to take Chicago City buses about 2 hours to get to college back and forth, and she eventually got her master's degree, and I'm her son. And on the other side, the Scottish side, my Scottish great-grandfather came here in the early 1900s. He was a dirt poor farmer in Scotland, as were my Greek relatives, or Greek ancestors in Greece. They were dirt poor farmers. He came and worked in the northern suburb of Chicago. It was a very rich suburb because he knew how to groom horses. That's what he did in Scotland. Then the horses went out and the cars came in, and he became a car mechanic. And in the 1920s, his last job was a night watchman in a Chicago factory. There's nothing wrong with doing that. It's honest work. What I'm saying is none of them did very well in life here in America, but they came to America, and because they came to America, I'm here. And my white privilege got me a father who worked in a greasy spoon restaurant as his job, and my mother was a substitute teacher in Chicago. He eventually worked his way through restaurants and hotels and became the general manager of hotels in Chicago and of the Playboy Club in Lake Geneva, which was quite a treat for a young 14-year-old guy. I was supposed to listen to Jack Jones sing, but my eyes were elsewhere. I went to law school. Somehow I got in. I worked jobs all during college, all during law school, construction, Chicago taxi, Chicago bus driver. I was a Teamster, a service employees union member. Somehow I became a lawyer, and somehow I did very well. Not talking financially, I'm talking skill level. Why? Because this is America. Only in America could this have happened. Only in America could I be standing here talking to you now, and only in America would they welcome someone like me. Thank God I'm American. I love this country, and I would die for it. Thank you.
Thank you. I have no other cards. Mr. Reck, I know you turned in a card. Was it for call to the public? Okay, I'm just checking. That was my note. So are there others that wish to speak to the board this morning for call to the public? Did you wish to speak before the? Okay. You didn't turn a card in. We don't give you a microphone.
All right, good enough. I've missed the last few meetings, but watched the videos and was pleased to see so many celebrations and great agenda items, including today, but just too many to list. This is old business, but thank you for holding agenda item T from April 27th, the County Superintendent of Education's yearly services report for questions and observations and allowing Roberto Reveles to present them in my behalf on May 7th. I wish I had been there, as some of my questions still have not been answered, tap danced around, either at this forum or subsequent emails. Back to the video, I was struck by a statement from Chairman McClure that I must criticize today. He stated as chair he would permit Roberto to represent me because Roberto is better looking than I am. Even though it's true that Roberto is better looking, it still cut me to the core, even worse in absentia. I've been praising your work as chairman, accomplished with the dulcet tones of a voice that was made for radio or voiceovers, but it should be noted that I have never mentioned anything about anyone having a face for radio. I'm bruised, but I have no grudges, so I want to turn this into a positive experience as a way to remember we all had better days in the past. Supervisor McClure, I have a gift for you, which unfortunately fell out of my folder on the way out of the door this morning. It's a headshot from a photo packet from a school where I coached. It's inscribed with, "To Jeff, how you like me now? Your friend, Noel." I can bring it to the next meeting, or if you want it sooner, I can FedEx it to you. I didn't get you a frame. I thought you'd like to pick something out that would look really good in your office, along with the Oval Office gold adornment that I printed out for you. You'll have to get out the scissors to cut it out yourself. But I will leave this with Clerk Kennedy for safekeeping in the meantime. Now for the serious segment of my time. I offer this to all citizens of Pinal County and beyond. Whether you are MAGA, conservative, liberal, progressive, independent, Democrat, Republican, or independent, the election is almost upon us. Even as Republicans chip away at it, the right to vote remains sacred. But along with that right comes a responsibility to educate ourselves fully on the candidates and issues. Study them, try a variety of media sources. Remain vigilant about events of the day. In today's media age, it's not that difficult to do. Whatever your vote, cast it based on thoughtful examination and not ad hominem ideology. Lastly, I ask the Pinal County Sheriff's Office to keep your eyes open for campaign sign vandals. It's already happening again in the Republican primary races. It was very disheartening in 2024 to put in the hard work of putting up signs only to see them slashed to pieces with box cutters. That stupidity has to be stopped and prosecuted. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there others that wish to speak before the board this morning? Hearing, seeing none, we'll close the call to the public. Thank you very much, and thank you, Mr. Reck. You can bring it the next time. You don't need to FedEx it. Okay. This brings us to items 15, and we'll hear 15, 16, 17 together. And we have Mr. Amaya. There we are. Hello, Mr. Amaya. How are you?
Hello, Chair and members of the board. Let me just grab my slides. Yes. So I'm here to speak on items 15, 16, and 17. This is for the Magma Butte Ranches residential subdivision. So for each case, so PZPA 026-25, they are requesting a minor, non-major comprehensive plan amendment from moderate low-density residential to medium-density residential, which allows from 3.5 to 8 dwelling units per acre. For PZ 036-25, they are requesting a rezone from general rural to single residence zoning, specifically R7. And then PZPD 023-25, they are requesting a planned area development overlay to amend the development standards and of the proposed residential subdivision to provide flexibility in the lot sizes, setbacks, and design. The subject site is located south of South Renfro Way and between North Quail Run Lane and North Mitchell Trail, and is north of the town of Florence in unincorporated Pinal County. The landowner is Carlos Caminera. I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong. And the applicant is Ernie Romero of Soltero Developments. So this shows the county map compared to subject site. This is the zoning. So as I said before, they are requesting the R7 zoning with the PAD overlay. So this is the vicinity map that shows the surrounding area. And then this is the current aerial. So this was the site posting that was done by the applicants as well as our small signs done by staff. And then these are the site photos looking in all directions. So for this site plan, they are proposing a 90 single-family lots. This will be in 2 phases according to the applicants, with both phases having 45 dwelling units. They will have 2 full-access unsignaled intersections, one on North Mitchell Trail and one on North Quail Run Lane. These will be connected by internal residential streets. And then they are meeting the open space requirements with having 18.23% of the net, which is about 3.55 acres. So for the rezoning, they are requesting 19.88 acres. Currently, the moderate low density is not able to support this excuse me, this development. That's why they are requiring the comprehensive plan amendment. And then for your consideration, the proposed land use designation is similar to the surrounding areas. Same thing for the rezone. There are parcels to the east which are also zoned R7. At the time of the site plan review, the site plan will be reviewed. Similarly for the traffic impact analysis and the drainage. Currently, we have received 2 letters of opposition that should not be or support. It is opposition towards this application. We have met all of the public notification requirements according to state statutes. And then during the April 16th Planning and Zoning Commission, the commission voted 8-1 in favor of approval towards the non-major comprehensive plan amendment, 8-1 towards approval for the rezone, as well as 8-1 for the PAD overlay district. So so just to break this down to individual applications, so for PZPA 026-25, if you wish to approve this application, staff did not have any stipulations. For the rezone, if you are wishing to approve this, we are recommending the two stipulations as reported in the staff report. And then for the PAD, if you do choose to approve it, staff is recommending the 13 stipulations. Thank you. That concludes my presentation.
Thank you, Mr. Amaya. And the applicant does not have a presentation or cares to speak. Go ahead if you wish to speak. Thank you, Mr. Amaya.
Mr. Chairman, members of the board, Reese Anderson with Pew and Lake, 1744 South Val Vista in Mesa. Happy 4th of July, and I recognize I'm standing between you, a busy agenda, and that holiday. The staff gave you a great presentation, so while we have one, I think it would be wise of us for me to come back up there if there's anyone else that speaks in opposition. That might be a more efficient use of our time rather than me repeating the good things you heard from your staff.
Thank you. All right. Let's see. So these items are public hearings, and so at this time I would open the public hearing for items 15, 16, and 17. I have received no cards on this. Is there anyone from the audience that wishes to speak on these items? Okay, hearing and seeing none, I will close the public hearing. And at this time, if you don't have any presentation at this point, because nobody spoke about it, we're all getting any other questions or comments from the board? No? Then in that case, may I get a motion, please, on item 15?
Mr. Chair, I make a motion to approve item 15 with no stipulations. Or am I doing them all together?
No, one at a time. So
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Those in favor of, for item 15, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Hearing none, motion passes. Thank you. May I get a motion, please, on item 16?
Mr. Chair, I make a motion to approve item 16 as read with 2 stipulations.
I have a motion and I have a second. Those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Hearing none, motion passes. Thank you. And for item 17, a motion, please.
Mr. Chair, I make a motion to approve item 17 as written with 13 stipulations.
I have a motion.
Second.
And I have a second. Those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Hearing none, motion passes. Thank you very much. This moves us to item 18, which is a public hearing for consent items A and B. Are there any items here that the board wishes to pull from either A or B? Hearing and seeing none. County manager? Public? No, thank you. Okay. Nothing being pulled. So in that case, may I get a motion, please? Well, this is a public hearing, is it not? No, this is. Yes, I'm sorry, I'm not reading the whole thing here.
Yeah,
So
correct, Chairman. So yes, this is a public hearing. And so with reaching out to the board and then county manager and then the actual public to see if anyone wanted to pull the item, you have satisfied that public hearing.
Okay, thank you. So no one wishes to speak on it. Close the public hearing. And in that case, may I get a motion, please, on item 18, which is items A and B.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion that we approve number 18, items A and B as presented.
I have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Hearing none, motion passes. Thank you. This brings us to item number 19, which is also a public hearing. Ms. Garza, you are right there.
Good morning, Chairman, members of the board. Celeste Garza, Public Works Deputy Director. Item 19 is an abandonment located in District 1 along Amarillo Valley Road and Peters and Knoll Road. This abandonment is related to a replat of a subdivision called Palomino Ranch. The engineering consultant is realigning some of these roadways, and they are taking them off the section line and through the subdivision. So that's the reason for the abandonment. The Peters and Knoll alignment is what we share with the Auction Indian community. It doesn't have improvements on it today and likely won't be an east-west corridor for us. So there's a photo looking north from the end of what the subdivision has built today. This property is also adjacent to a future school site that'll be developed to serve the area in the future. And then this is looking along Amarillo to the south. And there you can see the Indian community to the north and then future residential planned in that blue and pink area of Palomino Ranch. This is the Peters and Knoll alignment, west and east. And I'm happy to answer any questions you might have.
Any questions for Ms. Garza? All right. I guess not. You satisfied everybody here. Thank you so much.
With that, thank you.
This is a public hearing, so at this time I'll open the public hearing for item 19. Are there any members of the public that wish to speak to this item? Hearing and seeing none, I will close the public hearing and ask the board if they have no other questions for a motion, please.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion that we approve item number 19 as presented.
I have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, motion passes. Thank you very much. This brings us to item 20 and 21. And at this time, the applicant, go ahead, Mr. Pachenko, come forward, please.
Almost good afternoon, board members.
Almost.
My name is Valentin Pachenko, senior planner. Regarding this case, Chairman received yesterday the letter from the applicant with request to continue the case. There was no date provided by the applicant. Applicant was informed about following open dates for the sessions with the Board of Supervisors, and maybe applicant will be able to determine the date. Staff also ready to present the case if board wish to hear for that. An applicant is here as well to make the formal request to continue the case.
But, I mean, so they're going to continue it, so, I mean, we can just continue it to.
I believe we have.
I believe the applicant wishes to give us a date they'd like to continue this to.
Give me just a second.
Good morning, Mr. Chair, members of the board. Stephen Anderson, 40 North Central, 20th floor in Phoenix, on behalf of the applicant Avantis. Apologize for not including a date certain in our continuous request letter yesterday. We did not have a chance to verify with the staff whether you all would in fact be meeting on August 5. We've now done that, and so that is the date to which we would like to request the continuance. So that's August 5 for your record, and I'd be happy to answer any questions about the request.
Are there any questions for Mr. Anderson? I feel like I'm talking to the Matrix now.
Thank you.
No questions,
No.
thank you.
We're good.
These are public hearings, however, and so I will now open the public hearing on 20 and 21. Okay. First up, I have Mr. Alizada. No, no, you didn't wish to speak? Okay, thank you. Second, I have Mr. Brown, Jacob Brown. Did you care to speak? Come on down if you want to speak.
Hi, thank you.
Please, just for the record, your name and generally where you live. That's good.
Yeah, I got it here.
Got it, okay.
Morning, members of the board in Pinal County. My name is Jacob Brown, representing Black Hawk Ranch. I'm a first-gen rancher and solar grazer. Being that this is numbers 20 and 21 was approved to be continued or to be, I guess, requested to be continued, this kind of defeats the point, but I will go on. I'm here to unite not only solar devs, but also those that are unsure about solar farms or projects. I am saying that the project can not only just not stir up the dust, but also to bring on agrivoltaics, which is basically solar projects that are allowing farmers and ranchers to be able to, take their sheep and or native plants and grow around the projects or the arrays. This would not only develop the soil, but also to help against, reducing the intensity of dust storms, keeping in the stewardship of our lands and conservation of it. Just to go back to some words from the supervisor, Mr. Goodman, this would also help to honor our land here for the last 250 years. We have the roots of farming and ranching, and therefore we also should be looking forward to the future. And why not go hand in hand with ranchers and farmers as well as solar devs that are looking towards the future, but also working with farmers and ranchers to keep that land developed with agriculture and as well as solar. So that was something that I wanted to speak on. I also want to throw my hat in the ring as a solar grazer for projects that are not only here, but also in the future that are developed around Arizona. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next, I have Mr. Cox.
Good morning. I'm happy to be able to show what I believe is support for a solar project in my community. As far as I have studied, which I have studied several years, I see nothing but advantage for this type of energy production. The site where it is proposed is such that people will actually have to go looking for it to be able to see it from the highway. I see it as an advantage. It is supplying a need for Arizona, but in our situation where I live in San Manuel, it is a secondary supply of a needed utility. If there is an occasional problem with the APS provider of electricity, this becomes a second, and that is beneficial to us. I would like to state my overwhelming support in that any concerns brought up, and I was one at one time, they have been resolved successfully. So I will offer my support for this company to provide a solar generation and storage facility. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Cox. Next, I have Ms. Hawes.
Thank you. I'm Shemin Hawes. This is Nico. Ms. Kennedy, I have a document I want to introduce to the record. I have to get it from my purse, so I'll bring it to you after. I, too, appreciate the opportunity to stand here in support of Avantis and Ortown Solar being established in San Manuel. The former mining property is already fenced. It's a former mine production property. It's not actually on the tailings pile, which was federally mandated to be recovered and reclaimed, and that is in perpetuity, that is supposed to be maintained. So this solar farm is a really good use for land that would otherwise be toxic and not usable or beneficial to our community at all, other than historically as something to say, wow, that's why we started, is because it used to be the biggest hole in the ground in the United States. Besides that, Avantis has really been very receptive to community input. They have been very diligent in answering all of our questions. They have given us scientific-based answers to those questions. They've been meticulous about paying attention to any potential environmental impacts to our area, and have even designed their pad, their overlay design, with concerns towards washes that already exist on the property and animals being able to traverse. So it's a really great situation. It's going to provide a lot of income for our school district and our fire district. And in an unincorporated community, that's a real boon for us. So again, I join my neighbor Brian in giving full support to this project, and I'll be back on August 5th to say it all again. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Hawes. Mr. Cardenas.
Chairman McClure, honorable supervisors, Mark Cardenas here on behalf of the Carpenters Union in support of Avantis' Ortown Solar Project. We've worked with Avantis on other energy projects here in Arizona, and they've earned a reputation with us for partnering with local skilled trades and putting Arizona workers on their jobs. They understand when you invest in local craftsmen and women, you get a project that's built safely, on schedule, and to the highest standards of quality. For our members, this project means family-supported jobs, opportunities for apprentices to learn a skilled trade, and careers that allow people to stay and work right here instead of leaving the state to find work. Just as important, the wages earned on projects like this are spent in our local communities. They support small businesses, generate tax revenue, and create a ripple effect that benefits all of Pinal County. Avantis has been a good partner to Arizona's construction industry, and we're confident that Ortown Solar will continue that track record by creating quality jobs while helping meet Arizona's growing energy needs. On behalf of the Carpenters Union, I respectfully ask for your support of this project. Thank you.
Thank you.
In August, of course.
In August, yeah. Mr. Corral, please.
Good afternoon, Chairman McClure, honorable members of the board. My name is Cesar Corral, and I'm here today on behalf of Sheet Metal Workers Local 359 in support of the Ortown Solar and Storage Project. For our members, apprentices, and workers in our local cities and towns, projects like Ortown mean staying home with our families. When projects are built here in Pinal County, our skilled tradesmen and women have the opportunity to work close to home instead of traveling hours or even out of state to earn a living. That means more time with their families, less time on the road, and more of their paychecks being spent at our local restaurants, our local grocery stores, our local gas station, and our small businesses right here in our community. Town will create up to 200 well-paying construction jobs while prioritizing local hiring, ensuring the benefits of this project are felt by the people who call this region home. That's exactly the kind of investment our workforce and our communities need. Beyond the jobs, Town is committed to investing directly in San Manuel through scholarships, support for local schools, improvement to community facilities, and funding for public safety and local events. It will also generate tens of millions of dollars in tax revenue over its lifetime, helping support roads, schools, and public safety without raising taxes. The project also puts a portion of the retired San Manuel copper mine back to productive use while generating enough clean electricity to power approximately 35,000 Arizona homes. By pairing solar with battery storage, it will help improve our grid reliability and meet Arizona's growing energy needs. On behalf of members of Smart Local 359, I respectfully ask for your support of the Town Solar and Storage Project. It's an investment in our local workers, our local communities, and Arizona's future. Thank you for your time and consideration.
Thank you. Next, I have Mr. Crew.
Good morning, Supervisors, and thank you for the opportunity. My name is Wesley Crew. I'm a representative from an organization called Arizonans for a Clean Economy. I'm here to submit for public record 57 Pinal residents that are in support of the Town project that were not able to make it here today. So thank you so much. I'm going to submit these for the public record.
Thank you, sir. I had one other card, but Mr. Gutierrez, but you didn't wish to speak. Is that still correct if you're still here? All right, and that's the end of the cards I have. Are there any others that wish to speak to this item? Okay, then at this time, we're going to continue this item. We don't need a motion, do we? We need a motion to continue. Yeah, we need a motion to continue, and at this time, we'll keep the public hearing open for August 8th. Yeah.
Okay.
Give others a chance to speak if they wish to, or the same, or Mr. Crowell can come speak again. I know he wanted to do that. He just said that a minute ago. Okay, may I get a motion, please, on item 20?
Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion that we continue. Thank you. I was looking for the word. Continue to August 5th at our next board meeting on August 5th and with public hearing.
To continue the public hearing. Okay, I have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion is second. Those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? Hearing none, motion passes. Thank you. For item 21, please make it a motion.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion that we continue till August 5th, item number 21, with a public hearing.
With public hearing. Okay, I have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, motion passes. Thank you. See you on August 5th. Happy 4th. Okay, brings us to item 22. We will be hearing items 22, 23, and 24 together. At this time, I have Mr. Amaya to present for 22. Good morning, or good afternoon now.
Hello, Chairman. It's good to be back. I'll just wait for the presentation. All right, so this is for all three cases are for the Valley Farms Energy Center. So to break down each application, so PZPA 028-25 is an approval of a non-major comprehensive plan amendment to develop this from green energy production to general public facilities and services to develop the site as a battery energy storage system, other known as a BESS, with ancillary equipment. PZ 039-25 is requesting a rezone of approximately 68.77 acres from general rural to industrial I3 to develop the BESS. And then PZPD 026-25 is a planned area development to develop the site as the best to amend the permitted uses and possible development standards. So the site is located at the northwest corner of East Bartlett Road and North Clemens Road, east of the city of Coolidge in unincorporated Pinal County. The landowner is Margaret Caminera and Susan Hansen's co-living trust, and the applicant is Sean Lake of Pew and Lake PLC. So this shows the county map in comparison to the site. It is a little bit east of the city of the town of Coolidge. And then this is the vicinity map. The brownish color, that's just how our maps are, is the city of Coolidge, just a reference of where it is located. And then this is the current aerial with the purple showing city of Coolidge. And then so for the comprehensive plan amendment, so like I said, they are requesting to be redesignated as the general public facilities and services. And then for the zoning, they are requesting that industrial zoning. And then this was the 600-foot public notification as required by state statutes. And then these are the broadcast signs put up by the applicant. And all of the site photos looking in all directions. So originally when they submitted for this site, it was 160 acres, but they have gone through a parcel split, and I have the fee number as well, and then it was recorded on May 19th. So this parcel split broke up the parcel into two parcels, parcel A and parcel B. Parcel A is the approximately 71.45 acres that will be the subject site for all applications. So for the site plan, as I said, it is approximately 68.77 acres. And the project will include the BESS system as well as a laydown yard, substation, SRP switchboard, retention ponds, as well as internal access roads, landscape buffers, and then a security fence. So the existing residential is approximately 600 feet from the subject site, just across the street to the east. And then to break down the site plan even more, I have shown that where the northern portion, which has the BESS system as well as the laydown and retention pond, and then the southern portion, which would be the substation and the SRP switchboard. So also included within the application was a decommissioning plan. This includes disconnecting it from the power grid, removal of the equipment, and restoring the property back to the original as agreed upon. So just a little knowledge on the surrounding areas. There are 230 kilovolt power lines adjacent to Bartlett Road. You can see that in the image to the right with the red line on the southern portion. And then there is also the solar generating facility to the southwest as well from solar and SRP. So for items of consideration, just to sum it up, they are requesting the non-major comprehensive plan amendment from from green energy production, to general public facilities and services. They are requesting the rezone from general rural to industrial, and then they are proposing the PAD amendment. This PAD amendment, or PAD overlay, would only permit the use as a power plant, which the BESS systems are an adjacent use considered of that. And it will not allow the wastewater treatment plants and ancillary offices that are also included in our code. The site will have two access points along North Clemens Road. And then the location of the solar facilities does show it as a possible location. And then a traffic impact statement and drainage report will be required at the time of site plan approval. So for public participation, at the time of publishing, we did receive 53 letters of support from the applicant, as well as 2 letters of opposition from members of the public. One of those letters came from within the 600-foot notification area. During that time from publishing to now, we have received 5 additional letters of support from the applicant, as well as 5 letters of opposition from the public. I have those if you would like to see those as well. And then at the May 21st Planning Commission meeting, all three cases were voted for a recommendation of denial, voted 6-3. And some of the concerns that were expressed during this meeting were included the health, fire, and traffic concerns. So the applicant has actually requested adding 3 stipulations. Shown in for the record, I will read them in. This would include number 21, a wall wrapping around the northern boundary of the property will be 10-foot opaque visual screen wall that will wrap around the corners of the project. Number 22, a landscape buffer on the northern boundary will be planted with oversized mature trees. And number 3, a landscape buffer on the east, west, and southern boundaries will be planted with large oleanders as well. And then they have the Latin name for them as well. Because these are mostly aesthetic, it does not require a substantive, they are not substantive in nature and do not need to go back to the Planning and Zoning Commission. And then should you approve the PZPA 028-25, staff is recommending the 1 stipulation. For the rezone PZ 039-25, if you choose to approve it, staff is recommending the 3 stipulations. And then should you approve the planned area development, that would, staff is recommending the 23 stipulations.
Does that include the last, sorry?
Yeah, that includes the last 3.
The last 3 that they added?
Yes, it
Okay.
does.
Okay, cool.
Did I get that correct? All right, that concludes my presentation. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Are there any questions for Mr. Amaya?
Yes, Mr. Chair, may I see the letters?
Yes.
Please, thank you.
Do I need to give this to the?
That way. Any other questions from the board?
Just explain to me the current zoning is green energy production?
Yes, the current zoning is green energy production. Previously, they had applied for a large solar facility that was denied by the Board of Supervisors, and the green energy production only allows the solar generation. So what they are going for, the general public facilities, would allow the best system. Not, the green energy would not.
This was last year.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Maya. And then the applicant is here to present?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. And Mr. Applicant, that's amazing you have the same last name as that. Mr. Lake.
Quite the coincidence. Good afternoon, Board. My name is Sean Lake, 1744 South Val Vista, here on behalf of NextEra. Appreciate the opportunity to be before you this afternoon to talk about this project. And I'm going to try to simplify it as best I can so that I understand it, because there's a lot of things that go into making our society the way it's going happen. And one of the things that is needed to make our society happen is energy. And with us here today, we have representatives from SRP and ED2, both of which are in support of this project, but they can take on the real technical questions on how we bring energy into our home, into our businesses, and into making our lives the way we've chosen to have them with this next generation. I'm not going to talk, we've all met with NextEra. Everybody knows NextEra is a very large energy production company. They do all forms of energy. And so they're not just one or the other. They're a very large company, and so we're glad to have them here. Let me see if this works. There we go. So we have representatives from NextEra that are here to talk about specific or technical questions that may come up. I will go through kind of an overview of the project. We have experts from hopefully all fields to entertain all questions that may or may not come up. Staff did an excellent job of going through the proposal. It's an interesting piece of property that's designated green energy, but the board said no on green energy. And so we're coming back and amending that to go back to just general public facilities, because this is just a battery system. All of the other stuff that had to do with green energy is gone. Literally, this is a battery that is put on the ground that taps into the existing grid directly adjacent to it and pulls energy and stores the energy in these batteries during low demand and then releases it back into the grid during peak demand. Now, why is that important? Because you don't want to build energy production to meet high demand. It's too expensive, it doesn't make sense, and it causes rates to go up for the ratepayer. What you want is to have systems like this that can support the grid, so when it's 115 degrees outside and the overflow area is like a meat locker over in there in the Board of Supervisor overflow room, we can run our air conditioning and all feel good about living in the valley in the summer. So let me walk you through what's changed from the last time this was before the board. A substantial amount has changed from the last time the board saw it in a public hearing. So now there's no longer any solar. This is a standalone battery facility. We were 160 acres. It has been reduced down from 160 acres, and as staff pointed out, we've split this parcel off and no longer go all the way to the north and have a rather large buffer on the north, but we're down to a 68-acre site that we're rezoning. And of that 68 acres, only 20 of that is the BESS facility. The rest of that is going to be used for an SRP substation and other substation and operating and just leftover land. So only 20 of the 68 acres will be used for BESS. This has been shifted to move itself outside of the freeway corridor after meetings with Coolidge. We did create that 500-foot setback on our property. So that's not setback from the property owner, that's setback on our property. So that's 500 feet of our property dropped down from the north. And I think it's like 900 plus feet to that residential home to the north. In discussion with supervisors and neighbors, in the neighborhood meetings that we've had 4 community events on this project, one as late as last week. We incorporated more things on this project to help mitigate or address concerns of the neighbors. Specifically, we incorporated a 10-foot wall along the north side of the property that will wrap, as condition, I think, 21 points out. There's a reason why that's a 10-foot wall, because those BESS containers are about 10, 11, 12 feet tall. So, I mean, it will really buffer from a opaque structure, if you will, a wall, so you won't be able to see it like you do when the solar arrays as you'd come into town from north town, which is just a chain link. So we do have a wall. In addition to that wall, in listening to the neighbors and others in our meetings over the last several weeks, we've added mature trees along that northern boundary. We've also, the balance of the site will wrap it with oleanders, which those of us who grew up here know is a very hardy vegetation. You just can't kill it. You water it and it will grow fast, and it will grow, and it's just there, and it will provide an excellent screening visual buffer around this site. So we think those additional conditions that were added, those last 3 since P&Z, most everything stayed the same from what was presented at P&Z and presented to the neighbors, but we added those additional 3 things in condition 21, 22, and 23 to help further mitigate the measures that had already been taken to reduce the size and scale of this project. Now, why is this needed? As we as a society continue to use more and more electricity, SRP and other power companies have projected the need. Our need for power is increasing, and this facility, as you'll note on the lower right-hand corner, Valley Farms 400 megawatts is needed for the summer of 2028. We're hoping to have this done in 2027 and get this up in operation and functional so that we can support the grid so that we don't have any problems. It is a contracted project with SRP. This is not spec. We're not here, maybe this is going to happen. This is a contracted project, and we have SRP and ED2 here to talk about that. It will support the electrical grid. It will store energy in that low demand so that it can be delivered and support the grid during high demand periods. Again, as I mentioned, it will support the increased energy demand as we continue to grow both in population and industry. Here's kind of a zoom in on some of the buffer issues and what we've done along the north-south side. We cut and pasted some pictures of what those mature trees on the north would be and what an oleander, for those that haven't born and raised, don't know what that looks like. But us locals, we know those things will grow dense, thick, and hardy. Is that a good way to put it? I think that's the best way to put it. But this project will have all the buffer mechanisms in addition to the distance measure, and it will comply with all industry standards and smoke detection, fire detection. We can go into that if you want to, but I'm going to pass right past that. And if you want to talk those safety, we have experts here to talk about that. Why is this needed at this location? That was a big discussion at Planning Commission. Why at this location? Well, this project is located between the Able and Pinal Central substations. And it is located along the 230 kV power lines. So we can tap directly into the power lines to pull the energy off in low peak demands and store it in the batteries. And I would say electrical grids, and I'm not an expert, we have experts from SRP here. Electrical grids are kind of like what we would call wells, water wells to feed a water line. You can't put all of your electrical or wells in one location and hope to supply water to a big population base. You have to put those wells throughout the community. It's the same thing with an electrical grid. You have to have various different locations throughout the grid to feed into that grid and support that grid so that it doesn't drop down and have brownouts like California does. So let's talk about growth and development. You'll notice on the lower left in green, the Pinal County General Plan, Comprehensive Plan says, without ample and reliable energy, Pinal County will not be competitive in attracting business and industry. Pinal County has been competitive in attracting business and industry. And that's why we need a stabilized grid to support that power. With some of these businesses that have written letters of support, but they need a reliable grid. In addition to the people who live here want a reliable grid, that's what we're trying to provide. We will be using LG batteries in this facility that will be made here in this county. And we all remember the groundbreaking of the LG facility, so we'll be using local batteries in a local storing to support local businesses and local residences. So we think we're trying to stay here and stay local and keep the energy utilized here. Now, as far as will this be will it produce sales tax? Or no, it doesn't produce sales tax, but it does produce property tax or because the improvements that will be on the property. And so this is a projected revenue stream of what this will produce versus if it remained in agriculture. And that will primarily benefit the schools and other county taxing districts such as the Unified School District, Coolidge Unified, as well as the junior college. We did have, as I pointed out, four meetings and community meetings, neighborhood meetings, and did get letters of support, and I think you received all of those, in addition to some last-minute ones, not only from businesses, but property owners in the immediate area. We did, and I wanted to read this. Valley Farms has a substantial number of letters of support from Pinal County residents, including residents of Coolidge. So the staff pointed out 53 letters of support. We've included just a few here to highlight the neighbors. It's coming not only from the recognition that the project provides critical energy and security for the region, but also from the community engagement. NextEra Resources has participated in working with the community and making donations and contributions to Pinal County and Pinal County charities or needs in the community, already making some of those donations with their existing projects, and will continue to support and be part of the community with those donations. We have received letters of support from Salt River Project, the Arizona Technology Council, Pinal Partnership, Pinal County Farm Bureau, Regional Fire and Rescue, South Florence Volunteer Fire Department, LG, the Florence Chamber, Small Business Owners Hub Alliance, and 48 other individuals in Pinal County. So in summary, sorry for being winded. This is not the same project that was presented to you last time. There is no solar, there is no green energy. That's why we're changing the plan. This is a contracted project that is needed to support the grid. This will provide the needed and necessary reliability and affordability so that we don't have to produce power at the peak demand and build power plants to do that. We can build less power plants and still meet the high demand by storing it during the low demand season. And it's also strategically sited right next to the 230 kV lines and between the two SRP substations. So it's in a great location. It will provide enhanced security and stabilize the network. And with the additional buffers and mitigation measures that we've gone through to make this more amenable, we think this is a good project, and we would urge your support with the additional conditions, number 21, 22, and 23, that staff has already put in the staff report. We think this is a great project and will help those that need the power when they need it in the middle of summer. So with that, I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. Any questions for Mr. Lake? Not at this time. I'm good. Not at this time. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. This is a public hearing, so I will at this time open the public hearing for 22, 23, and 24. I have quite a few cards here. I have a couple that don't wish to speak, but I think I have about 14 that wish to speak, and I'm going to start with Mr. Corral.
Good afternoon, Chairman McClure, members of the board. Thank you for the opportunity to speak once more. As mentioned, my name is Cesar Corral, and I'm here today with Sheet Metal Workers Local 359 in strong support of item 22, which is the Valley Farms Energy Storage Project. Just to mention one more time, to us, they're not just energy projects. These are investments on our local workforce. They're investments on our apprentices, investments on our local communities. Every project, like Valley Farms, creates opportunities for local men and women to earn a good living without having to leave their communities to find work. It allows our members to come home to their families every night, coach their kids, baseball teams, volunteer in their communities, and spend their paychecks at local businesses instead of taking them somewhere else. Just as importantly, projects like this are the training ground for the next generation of workers. Our registered apprentices don't learn their trade sitting in a classroom alone. They learn by building real projects alongside experienced craftsmen. Today's apprentice is tomorrow's journeyman, foreman, superintendent, and business owner. They are the future builders of Arizona, and if we don't continue investing in projects like this, we risk losing the workforce when our state needs it most. Valley Farms also strengthens the infrastructure that our growing communities depend on. As Pinal County continues to expand, reliable energy is no longer a luxury, it's a necessity. Energy storage helps ensure our homes stay cool, our businesses stay open, and our families remain safe during Arizona's extreme summer heat. This project creates approximately 300 construction jobs, generates millions in local tax revenue, and invests in the future of both our workforce and our communities. On behalf of the members of Sheet Metal Workers Local 359, I respectfully ask for your support of the Valley Farms Energy Storage Project, item 22. When you support projects like this, you're not just approving infrastructure, you're investing in Arizona's workers, developing the next generation of skilled tradespeople, and helping build a stronger future for Pinal County. Thank you for your time and consideration, and I ask you guys for an approval.
Thank you. Ms. Sy, Amy Sy, are you still, there you are. You don't have to run.
Good afternoon. Chair and members of the board, my name is Amy C. My family and I live in Coolidge, and we own Hub Express, a printing and multi-carrier shipping business store in the Safeway Plaza. We have been humbled to be recognized by the Coolidge Chamber of Commerce as Community Partner of the Year for the past 2 consecutive years. I mention this only to share that we are committed to this community and strive to demonstrate it through our actions and not just words. I grew up under a dictatorship in another country. Rotating blackouts were part of everyday life. I experienced firsthand what unreliable electricity meant for families, businesses, and entire communities. That experience taught me never to take reliable electricity for granted. Like many businesses, NextEra has been one of our customers, and that gave me an opportunity to read more about their projects. And rather than rely only on what I heard from others or read online, I decided to do my own research in terms that an ordinary person like me could understand. The biggest concern with battery storage facilities I found was fire safety. But I learned that today's utility-scale battery systems are installed in protective enclosures and include multiple layers of monitoring, the temperature controls, detection systems, emergency shutdown features, and other safety measures that continue to improve over time. As a layperson, here's how I came to look at it. Cars still have accidents every day, yet we continue driving because they are essential to our daily lives. Instead of giving up on them, engineers have continued making them safer. I was also curious about the leading cause of home fires in the United States. It's cooking, actually. Yet nearly every home has a stove because the benefits outweigh the risks, and we continue improving safety. My family and I support renewable energy. As more renewable energy is added to our electric grid, reliable energy storage becomes an important part of the solution. Pinal County is growing rapidly, and projects like this help provide reliable electricity, create jobs, attract investments, and strengthen our local economy. I also believe that ensuring a reliable and secure supply of electricity is a shared responsibility. I appreciate our community for being engaged, and I sincerely thank the board for carefully evaluating projects like this as you prepare Pinal County for the future. After taking the time to educate myself before forming an opinion, I respectfully ask you to support this project. I believe it is a responsible investment in our community's present and future. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Mr. I said Cardenas before. Is it Cardenas? How did you say that?
Honorable Chairman, I've heard it so many times, as long as you give it a shot, I'm good.
Okay, all right. We're on.
Good morning again. Mark Cardenas here with Western States Carpenters. Address is 10797 West Randolph Road, Casa Grande, Arizona, here in support of the Valley Farms Energy Storage Project. As Arizona continues to grow, we need to build not only new sources of energy, but the infrastructure that makes our electric grid stronger and more reliable. Battery storage plays an important role by storing electricity when it's abundant and then delivering it back to the grid when demand is highest. That helps improve reliability for Arizona families and businesses. From our perspective, it's about jobs. The Valley Farms Energy Storage Project will put skilled Arizona tradespeople to work, create opportunities for apprentices entering the construction industry, and generate economic activity that benefits local businesses throughout Pinal County. Our members take pride in building the infrastructure that keeps Arizona moving. Whether it's schools, hospitals, manufacturing facilities, or energy projects like this one, we know these investments create lasting benefits for our communities. The Valley Farms Energy Storage Project is a smart investment in both Arizona's energy future and Arizona's workforce. On behalf of the Carpenters Union, I respectfully ask for your support.
Thank you. Mr. Lewis, Dylan Lewis.
Hello, board. Hello, Mr. McClure. Thank you for seeing me. My name is Dylan Lewis. I live at 618 West 14th Street in Florence. I have a sustainability asset company called Doxa and Sustainability Advisors, and we actually built it right here in Florence. One of the things that we do is we identify the most optimal solutions for land, whether it be manufacturing facilities, standalone battery, housing, office space, farming, etc. The Valley Farms project location is a piece of land without enough water to really farm or really do anything that require water. That's why we think it's one of the best spots we could have it. SRP has stated specifically that they need the capacity and are currently not on pace to keep up with the future growth. And so there we go with blackouts. So we know we need it. All of the battery capacity is staying right here in Pinal County, so it's not going to California. It's going to SRP. It's going to ED2, which is very big. We're keeping it right here in Pinal County. Also, there's no solar, and I know that's such a big issue right now. There's a lot of solar fatigue, but there's absolutely no solar. It's capacity. It's just standalone battery. I haven't had the opportunity to meet Mr. Wallace, but I'd like to. I know he doesn't live here year-round, but I want to meet him and congratulate him because I do believe that he's in a win-win situation. If this project moves forward, his land value is going to go up, his children are going to inherit a much more valuable piece of land in the future, which fantastic. If it doesn't move forward, then he won't have a standalone battery near his property, but we are still in the same boat. We still need the capacity. So on that note, NextEra has already contributed about $350,000 to the community. They've committed $600,000 just to this project for the betterment of Coolidge. They've created a lot of construction jobs and many full-time positions. They buy their trucks for their fleet from Garrett Motors, and I've personally worked at a food bank with them here in Coolidge. They use many Coolidge and Pinal County vendors. They've purchased land in the middle of Coolidge and are currently building a facility for the Coolidge employees and are making a plan to make a home in Coolidge. They're a blue chip company. I want them in Coolidge. I used to live in Coolidge. I live in Florence now. I think we need more companies like them. So the more we help our community members, the more we actually help our community. And NextEra has shown to be a community member of Coolidge and of Pinal County. So thank you.
Thank you. Next is Mr., I believe it's Garthright. Is that, my cursor's, okay, so the story there, we used to write in cursive for our kids and they couldn't read it, so it's totally secret code. So
that's all my fault. My handwriting's not great these days anyway. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. I'm Phil Garthright. I'm the senior planner for the city of Coolidge, Arizona. In this matter, we acknowledge that NextEra and SRP have come and talked to us directly. Though in Pinal County, the location lies within Coolidge's planning boundary, and the location and the area east of it to our airport are entirely within our business and commerce land use for several square miles. This is noted as being within our business and commerce land use, whereby such uses and intensities as this are not allowed. While also noting directly west of the site is our urban and neighborhood land use of also several square miles, and again, such uses of intensity that are also not allowed there. So as seen, this entire area for nearly a dozen square miles of business and commerce, along with urban neighborhood land uses, where 3/4 of the area are already annexed into Coolidge, are where proposals like this are not allowed. And we would not support any major or minor general plan amendment of such to our general plan for proposals like this in this area. So, thank you.
Thank you. I have, looks like Ms. Brown and Mr. Wallace.
Hi, I'm Misty Brown, and this is my father, Jim Wallace, whose property sits directly adjacent to the proposed battery site. We are here in opposition of this project. My father has lived on this land for more than 50 years. At the planning and zoning meeting, NextEra told the commission, quote, "We have received support from surrounding neighborhoods except for one who would like to see just no development here," end quote. That one is my father. There is a distinct difference between owning neighboring land and actually living on it. And to the claim that my father is simply against any development, that is not true. We would not be standing here today if NextEra were proposing homes instead, like the ones being built just a mile away. This was never about opposing growth. This was about the kind of growth our community deserves. They've talked about jobs and economic benefit. Here is a comparison to consider. The construction workforce can also pull from regional and national labor pools. They build it and they move on. And there has been some speaking today about some jobs, but the actual question is how many of those are permanent local jobs does this facility create for people who live here year after year? Versus 160 acres of 1 acre Custom home lots meets potentially 100 families, each paying property taxes every year. Those homes stand not just for 20 or 30 years, like a project, but indefinitely. Each one of those families enrolls children in our schools, spends in our local businesses, and becomes permanent part of this community. They've talked a great deal about being good neighbors and community sport with their donations. None of that outweighs what this region stands to lose. No family has ever said, let me build my home or buy my home next to a solar battery facility. This is a farming and family community, not a solar wasteland, and that is exactly what we are being turned into. Drive any number of routes from Florence Junction to Casa Grande, and you will see it. We are being boxed in by solar and battery facilities that stifle real, meaningful growth. I'd ask the board to also look at who actually spoke in favor of this project at the planning and zoning hearing. 8 people stood up that day, and every single one of them had a financial tie to NextEra or the project. Not one neutral resident with nothing to gain stood up and said, yes, build this next to me. These are people who have no vested interest in the betterment of Pinal County beyond the dollar that they can make. We thank you for your time and consideration.
Thank you. Next is Mr. Tom Wirtz. There you are.
Hello, Thomas Wirtz, 309 South Blue Sky Lane, corner of Love Mile Corner Road and 287. For 4 generations, the Wirtz family has been part of Arizona agriculture, producing crops, creating jobs, investing in the well-being of the community. Unfortunately, due to ongoing water crisis and continued reduction in farmable acres, I had to step away from full-time farming 2 years ago after spending 10 meaningful years along the side of my father. That was not an easy decision. Like many young agriculture families, we are facing the reality that water, land, and economic pressure are changing. That is, changing what is possible for the future of farming in Arizona. Even though I am no longer full-time farming, I remain deeply involved in our agriculture community through my work at Stokes Equipment, the local John Deere dealer. I continue to support farmers, ranchers, and producers who keep this region moving forward. At the same time, I recognize that our community is changing. My family now lives near a large battery storage facility within eyesight. While change can be difficult, I also believe that these projects represent an important opportunity for Pinal County. Battery storage and energy development can bring new jobs, strengthen the tax base, support local services, and help provide reliable power for Arizona's growing communities. I have also seen firsthand that the presence of battery storage, like the one I live less than a quarter mile from, has not stopped the growth in our area. Housing prices in my neighborhood have not been negatively affected by the battery plant. Homes continue to be built, sold, and occupied. Families are still choosing to move here, invest here, and build their lives here. That matters because it shows that responsible energy development and residential growth can exist together. In many ways, energy projects can help create more stable future for rural areas that are already facing serious challenges from water shortages and reduced farmable acreage. As agriculture adapts, responsible energy development can provide another source of opportunity for landowners, workers, schools, and local businesses. Pinal County has always been built by people willing to work, adapt, and invest in the future. My family has been part of that story for 4 generations. Through agriculture, I believe the responsible energy development can be part of the next chapter, helping provide jobs, stability, and opportunity for generations to come.
Thank you. Mr. Gurnett, I believe. Did I get close on that one?
Yes, you did.
Okay, good. Just making sure.
Okay, good afternoon, Chairman McClure, members of the Board of County Commissioners. It's good to be with you all. Mr. Chairman, with your permission, I have a letter here that mirrors our comments, if it's all right. So, Yeah, good afternoon again. My name is Logan Gurnett. I am the General Manager of Electrical District 2. I took over for Ken Robbins, and I've had the pleasure of meeting with a few of you. We are here today in support of the project, as you've heard. ED2 is a public power utility organized in Arizona, and we were originally founded to serve and benefit agriculture in Pinal County. Alongside APS, we now serve in and around Casa Grande, Coolidge, and Florence. I do not appear here, and even if I weren't fairly new at ED2, I would not appear here very often in support of a generation project. There are two that we stand to benefit from. That is this project as well as Pinal Solar, for which you may see me in a few months. But effectively, as our letter of support explains, we support it primarily because the district, the electrical district, is a beneficiary. SRP and ED2 have partnered in the past on transmission projects, generation projects, and SRP has been gracious enough to give us the opportunity to participate with them in this. I just recently signed the term sheet with them, whereby we will be where we have the opportunity to participate in this project at the same cost that SRP has. We are a not-for-profit public power district organized in Arizona, and candidly, one of the resources that we have relied on for the past few decades is currently, as a result of the Southwest water issues, having reductions in capacity and energy, and we need to replace that resource. Effectively, we understand that NextEra has met with a community, as well as local representatives, made changes to mitigate impacts, taken that feedback into account. I understand there's a local development fund to benefit Coolidge, as well as Pinal County. And really, from my perspective, this is what you hope for, and I hope that this testimony stands out to you. Although I haven't been at ED2 that long, I've been in this business quite a long time, largely on the nonprofit side. I care about serving customers. That's my desire. And what you hope for is, amid all of these generation projects, you hope that the generation project benefits the local people living around it, and you hope that people do it in the right way, which we believe that they have. So with that, I urge you to approve the changes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Gregory Wertz.
Chairman McClure, Supervisors, I'm Gregory Wertz, 12006 North Hazeldine Road, Casa Grande, and my wife and I are the owners of this property. I'd like to start off maybe with just a little bit of history. We've been in the process of selling this property for 4 years. The reasons we decided to sell were downsizing, the lack of dependable water. Being a farmer, I want to farm. I don't like managing vacant land. I've only been able to farm a half to a quarter or less of the property at any one given year. When we decided to sell, the best offers came from energy companies, and that's why we're down this road. We felt it was a good use for the property, others did not. The concerns that came up have been answered. The acres went from 160 to 170 acres. There are no solar panels. Safety concerns were also addressed. I will continue the farmed land directly to the north and to the west. My neighbors, farming family that farm to the south and east are in favor of this project. I have farmed around a power plant and batteries for years. I've never had any issues. They're good neighbors. People and businesses are coming to Pinal County. There are lots of needs to fill directly or indirectly by the county. Roads, security, water, power. This project should help with the power component. Infrastructure needs to come first as much as possible for a continued orderly growth of Pinal County. In closing, I would ask for you to approve the item before you. Thank you.
Thank you. Next is the whole family, Bobby Wertz. Okay, where's the kids? Where's the little kid?
All right. Mr. Chairman, Supervisors, thank you for having me. Bobby Wertz, 17 West Sierra Vista Drive. I come here to speak just as my profession, Land Advisors Organization. I'm an advisor, and wanted to talk about why we think this is a great site for an energy development. We look at the growth of Coolidge, and yes, we did hear the city planner speak that this is where, speak against it, but why we think this is a good growth area for energy development is given where we're facing in terms of it's not just a local problem, a national problem, is a housing affordability crisis. Builders are going to where they can build and build at an affordable price. They need to go where there's utilities, and in Arizona especially, they need to go where there's water. West of Coolidge is where there's utilities. That is where there's sewer and water treatment. And there's also where there's certificates of certificated land, so that's wet water. There's over 4,000 acres, really 4,800 acres of certificated land west of the city of Coolidge. Now, at 3.5 units to the acre, that's 17,000 units west of Coolidge, that's part of the planning of Coolidge, that has utilities. So this is what's most likely going to be developed. Now, you take 2022, a robust housing year, 419 units were pulled, single-family permits were pulled for the city of Coolidge. 23, 136. 24, 236. 2025, 282. So let's use a healthier housing market, 419 permits. That's roughly 40 years of inventory west of town that has water and utilities. Now, I would like to think that Coolidge is going to grow faster than that, but that's going to take? It's going to take jobs. And when you need jobs, you need industry. What attracts industry? You need three things. You need labor, you need water, you need power. So why we think we can use more power generation and a reliable grid is to attract industry, which will help Coolidge long term and help the growth. So with all that being said, I think it's obvious, but I'm in favor, and I urge you guys to vote yes on this. Thank you.
Thank you. No more Wertzes, right? Okay, just checking. Okay, we have Mr. Alzada.
Good afternoon, Sapan Dalazada with the Arizona Technology Council, 2800 North Central Avenue, Suite 1530 in Phoenix. Before I begin my comments, I want to just take a moment to thank Supervisor Goodman for his comments on free speech and our democracy. As some of you may know, I am an American of Iranian descent. And over the past 47 years, I've had family members be persecuted, abused, arrested, and even executed for expressing their views in free speech and trying to get their points across. So I am very, very grateful, and it's always an honor and a privilege to stand before you to make comments. As I said at the Planning and Zoning Commission, Arizona Technology Council is very supportive of this project. Now, Nextera is an American-owned and operated developer who has done its best in reaching out to neighbors. They have tried to engage as many stakeholders as possible to ensure that this project moves forward in a timely and responsible fashion. They heard what you all said last year. They came back, removed the solar generation portion. Whenever I had questions as a member of the Arizona Technology Council, I would always get a response within 24 hours from the team there. And if I'm getting responses within 24 hours, I can only imagine what residents, business owners, et cetera, who are in the region near this proposed project, how quick they are getting responses. This is a developer who understands that these types of projects are true partnerships and that you need to work as a whole in order to get them to move forward. Now, as I've mentioned before regarding battery energy storage systems, these facilities are very, very critical because we need energy for economic development in Pinal County. This isn't the Arizona Technology Council saying that. This is Pinal Partnership, local chambers of commerce, state chambers of commerce. They are all saying you need energy in all its forms. Now, a single battery energy storage system is not going to resolve all the needs that the county needs, but it's going to be a piece of the puzzle, the mosaic, as I like to say, of meeting the energy demands of this growing county. So with that, I want to take a second, just again, thank you all for entertaining public comments on this, and we hope that you will be supportive of this project as it moves forward. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Brady, Linda Brady.
Good afternoon, Supervisors, Chairman McClure. My name is Linda Brady. I'm here representing SRP and our executive leadership and speaking in support of the Valley Farms Battery Energy Storage Project. From SRP's perspective, this comes down to one simple issue, and that's making sure that we have the energy infrastructure in place to keep up with the growth happening in Pinal County. And we're all seeing it. We're seeing more people moving here. We're seeing more businesses wanting to invest here. And that's a positive story for the county, but growth only happens when there's reliable infrastructure in place and power. As a utility, our responsibility is to plan ahead. We have to build the infrastructure our customers need before the demand arrives and not after. If we wait until there's a shortage, we've waited too long. Battery storage is one of the quickest and most effective ways we have to strengthen reliability. And this isn't just a future concept. As has been described, SRP has a contract with this project to receive power from it. And as Logan from ED2 shared, what has changed from the last time you considered this project, even though SRP doesn't provide electric service in Coolidge, we've worked closely with ED2 because we heard the concerns about power availability and possibly missed economic development opportunities in the area. So as a result, now ED2 has the opportunity to participate in this project and access reliable, competitively priced energy. And that's significant because the utility that's serving Coolidge sees the value in the project and how it can help meet their future energy needs. We've also heard concerns that battery storage will increase electric bills. That's simply the opposite. The reality is that batteries allow utilities such as SRP to fill the battery when power is cheap and then release it when demand is highest and energy is at its highest cost. This has helped keeps costs down for customers. Another important thing is that NextEra listened to the concerns that were raised last year. They made changes to the project, including they removed the solar. These batteries will be filled from the grid, the SRP grid. I also want to highlight a direct benefit to the community. SRP requires renewable energy projects to support local communities with a $1,500 contribution per megawatt. So for this 400 megawatt project, that's $600,000. That's on top of what NextEra has already done for the community. Finally, I do want to say there's been a concern, and I've heard it about the number of projects in this area. SRP heard the message. When Valley Farms was selected by SRP, it was in 2023. We will not pick any more projects in this area. This is it, Valley Farms.
Thank you, Ms. Brady.
Please support it. Thank you.
Mr. Tobin, I don't think you're still here. He did. Okay.
He had a rodeo to go
Oh, I thought you wanted to go. I thought that you.
Well, I feel like a rodeo, too.
Okay, check. Okay. Mr. McCarville.
My name's Kirk McCarville, 9405 North Paseo, Palo Verde, Casa Grande, Arizona. I'm a longtime real estate broker in Pinal County, 45 years I've been doing this. My dad practiced law here for 54 years, a lot of it in this building right here. I don't work for NextEra. However, I do work for the Wirtzes, but I'm not another Wirtz. Anyway, they hired me 6 years ago to help them sell this land. We've been at this for 6 years. When I also come from a generational farm family. My father grew up on a farm in Iowa. I went to school to become a farmer. I went to Mississippi State University. Go Dogs. I got a degree in agronomy. I wanted to be a farmer. The last class I had my senior year was agricultural economics. I came back here. I put together a business plan. I went to the Farm Service Agency to get a first-time farmer loan. I did the economics. If I was lucky, I might break even. If not, I would soon be farming my equity. So my business plan, luckily I had one. I didn't go through it. I would have been bankrupt. My father said, well, for $300 you can get a real estate license. I said, that's a great idea. Can I borrow $300? So I started out helping generational farmers like the Wirtzes and the Barneses and the Englands and all the people in Casa Grande that got roads named after them that don't farm anymore. The Cortsons, the Sings, none of those people farm anymore. The economics for farming were tough in the early 80s. They're brutal now. The reason is there's way more farmland than there is water. There's probably enough farm water to farm about 25% of our irrigable acres. The Wirtzes are experiencing that now. They haven't put a seed in the ground in this farm in 2 years. Luckily, they have an opportunity to exit, which we should be embracing because they're in a utility corridor. They're next to a substation. They can exit. And when they exit, the water that they're not using is available to their neighbors. It actually helps. The fewer farmers who are going to make it will be able to share the water from the farms that are turned into non-water using projects like utility scale solar. Solar is tremendously beneficial to the remaining farmers. And we can embrace this transition in the number of acres, which is already happening. The number of acres being planted now is way smaller than it was 10 years ago, 20 years ago. It's going to be smaller every year. This is going to happen whether we like it or not, because the Colorado River is not going to start running again. The fish are dying in San Carlos Lake right now, and we've overpumped the water table. The water table here is a couple hundred feet lower than it was 30 years ago. It's an unsustainable economic model. When people have a chance to exit and save water for the farmers that will make it, we can transition logically, we can transition intellectually, or we can transition catastrophically. Because if the preventive planning drought assistance payments goes away today, bankruptcy starts tomorrow. And I don't want to sell farms on the courthouse steps. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. And that's all the cards I have. Are there any others that wish to speak to the public hearing to these items? Mr. Scott, well, okay, we'll go here, and then Mr. Scott, you're next.
Mr. Chairman, thank you. Board of Supervisors, Mr. Liu. My name is Stephen Kerber. I'm the fire chief, founder, and president of Regional Fire and Rescue. Been serving Greater Pinal County for 31 years. I did provide a letter of support for NextEra Energy and the Valley Farms Energy Project, dated May 20th. It should be in your packet. I don't have anything written in advance. I just wanted to obviously express my support for the project. There seems to be a lot of community support and compelling argument in support of the project, notwithstanding everything we've already heard here today. I realize that there are, fire concerns. I think there are some key points in my letter that should be understood, that some of the community has expressed concern about fire hazard, and some of the comparative examples were given of a decades-long ago fire that occurred in California, of which involved battery storage. This is all new technology. The battery segments disconnect from the grid and from the system automatically whenever there's a resistance fault. It prevents a thermal override or runaway. And so it reduces the chances for fire. I'm not an expert, but I am a fire chief that has been exposed and interested ever since my first contact with NextEra Energy in 2017. So we have almost a decade of experience with their transparency and diligence in providing all the information regarding the safety and our fire department's actions with regard to a fire. This began with the central energy Pinal Central Energy Project, which was over at 19 South Sunshine Boulevard at 287. So we've been covering that since it was completed. Now they're in need of services in the unincorporated area for the Valley Farms Energy Center, and we're more than happy to provide them service. As far as the information that has been discussed today, I think it's overwhelming and compelling that this is an important infrastructure project, and we're happy to support the Valley Farms Energy Center, and I hope you will too. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chief. Mr. Scott.
Chairman McClure, Vice President Seri, and Supervisors, I just wanted to point out that my family is also a generational farmers in Arizona since 1880. You know, I'm not against solar. I'm not against BESS. They just simply need to be in the right place. The Valley Farms Energy Center proposal is not in the right place. Let me tell you why. NextEra was asked at the Planning and Zoning meeting if they were going to store excess electricity that was generated from their 3 solar farms that are in the city of Coolidge limits. They said no. They said that it was important to be next to the 230 kV line, that is where the surplus electricity is. With this being said, they could receive surplus electricity anywhere along the 230 kV line, so their proposed project can be relocated to another place that doesn't affect people and the city of Coolidge future growth path. We have been taught that electricity doesn't go left or right, it just goes, and it is removed where it is needed, which could be any place. SRP has a contractual agreement with ED2 to supply electricity, which is a good thing. SRP has a large presence of a gas-powered generation plant 2.5 miles south of Coolidge and has active relationships with many other solar farms and BESS facilities, according to their website. Bartlett Road in the city of Coolidge general plan shows a 4-lane arterial road bringing potential growth and links to Coolidge from the north-south alignment freeway. The Pinal County comprehensive plan shows the intersection of Bartlett Road and Clements as an intense commercial center that surrounds the current zone green energy that they are currently at. The county is well aware of the growth and commerce business that is in the future of this area. Mayor John Thompson of the city of Coolidge has stated many times that he doesn't want any green energy or BESS projects north of Bartlett Road. The city of Coolidge has sent a representative 3 times to Pinal County Planning and Zoning Commission with a hard no, and the Board of Supervisors twice, including today, with a hard no. Coolidge is unique in that it is represented by 3 Board of Supervisors. Supervisor Miller, Chairman McClure, and Supervisor Vitiello all have taken the charge to protect and approve positive, well-thought growth to the constituents and stakeholders. We have heard today from the city of Coolidge that they are not in favor of Valley Farms Energy Center at this current location. To be supportive and consistent, I would assume that the Board of Supervisors that represent the citizens in Coolidge will vote no on this proposal. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Scott. Any others that wish to speak? Mr. Bagnell?
Good afternoon, Chairman McClure, Vice Chairman Surdy, board members. Tom Bagnell, 7443 South Sunshine Boulevard, Coolidge, Arizona. I'm here today to ask you to vote no on agenda items 22, 23, and 24 regarding NextEra Energy's request to locate battery storage facility just outside of the Coolidge city limits. The city of Coolidge and those living in the Coolidge area have repeatedly said no to NextEra's attempts to locate solar facilities and battery storage in this particular area, and yet they continue to push their project. Why are they so insistent on this, or any version of the project, to be located in this area? Doesn't make sense. Jim Wallace, who will be the closest in proximity to this project, does not want this near him, yet NextEra continues to push. NextEra's representatives that are here to push the project do not live here. They have tried to make an issue with local people that they shouldn't be concerned if they live in town. Again, they do not live here. They provide letters of support with most, if not all, coming from people or organizations outside of Coolidge. They do not live here. In the application for change of zoning on page 2, supporting information, item 4, it states, there is no potential for smoke, fumes, dust, or glare from this project. Yet, at the planning and zoning meeting, around 45 minutes was spent talking about what happens if there's a battery fire. Sounds to me that there is a potential, but the good folks at NextEra just want to downplay it. Again, they do not live here. In the past, the city of Coolidge has been very generous to NextEra approving the Story Energy Center, Saint Solar Energy Center, and Selma Energy Center, in that they still want more with very little return to the Coolidge community. The city of Coolidge is a big no in regard to this project. Thank you very much, and I'm asking you to please vote no on this project. Thank you.
Thank you. Any others that wish to speak to this item?
Richie Kennedy, 5136 West Kleck Road. I'm just going to stay pointed to the notion of property rights. It's appalling to me to sit in these meetings and listen to what a mayor can dictate, what he feels is right for people's property, and there's only one family here that pays the taxes on that. They should have the right to do whatever they want with this property, sell it to who they want, with the notion of this company is coming with a clean record, a good neighbor, good faith. They've shown it. I've seen it. The community has seen it. I think you all have seen it. I think we're dealing with people that just don't like the color of their neighbors' houses, and it's a shame. SRP for many meetings has said, we are going to be dealing with rolling blackouts. At what point do we not take that at face value? I don't want my AC off. I actually won't because I have a generator. Thank God for my dad's planning. But look at the people in this community. What are they going to do? What are the people going to do that are moving in? They need power as well. The last little tidbit that I'm going to add, I farm in Maricopa County. My yard sits right next to SRP, one of their generating stations. It has battery storage. My wife's family sold, I think it was about a 40-acre parcel just to the south. Guess what? It sold for 6 figures an acre. And you know what's going in there? Houses right across the street. Why? Because SRP, like NextEra, are good neighbors. They care about the community. They're involved. I think both of these organizations, as well as adding ED2, because we've been blessed. We deal with ED2. We're here where we live in Casa Grande. We're dealing with companies that we all should trust. I think they have proven records. And the last thing I think I'm just going to add that I just have a hard time dealing with is the notion that people don't live in Coolidge. You're right, I don't live in Coolidge, but you know what? If I was ever annexed, I would be in Coolidge. We're right on the border. I do most of my business in Coolidge. I have a large solar project that's going to move in right next, pretty much 1/8 of a mile away from me. I'm happy. You know why? Maybe I'm the weird guy, but I don't want neighbors. I don't. And the last thing I want to add is Solar can always go back to farm ground. It always can. One of the pieces that I farm, SRP had a lease with somebody had a lease with SRP, and the solar was taken out. Guess what? I'm farming it. It can happen.
Thank you. Any others that wish to speak before the board on this item? No, you don't get to speak at the public hearing. You get to come back in a second. Okay, any others who wish to speak for the public hearing on this item? Hearing, seeing none, I'll close the public hearing. And applicant, you wish to have one more go at it here?
Chairman, board members, appreciate the opportunity, and it's proven to be a long day. I just wanted to clarify a couple of points. Several people have brought up solar. There is no solar in this project. This is taking power off of the grid, storing it, and putting it back on the grid on 20 acres. That's what we're talking about. Substantial mitigation measures, visual mitigation measures, so that the mistakes that have been made in the past don't happen on this site, where we're going to have walls and a lot more dense vegetation to the mistakes, or whatever you want to call them, that have happened in the past with other projects are not going to happen. Also, issues were brought up with battery safety. We have our experts here if you have questions about battery safety, but we think the issue is a non-issue as far as battery safety. And so we're here to address that if you would like to discuss that. But the bottom line, I hear a lot of things. The property owner, they should build homes, or they should build industry, or they should build businesses. But what do those things all have in common? They all need power. And so nothing really happens as far as growth in Pinal County or in this area unless we stabilize and have the power for those things to happen. And that's why we're here. Both ED2 and SRP have both gotten up in support and said, this is a good location. This is a great spot to have this. We need this to happen so that it can go online summer of 2028. This is good use of this property. This allows the property owner to do something with their property, which they're struggling with and have for 6 years. And it supports not only Pinal County, but the locals to have ED2 sell this energy to support the grid. So we would, happy to answer any questions, but would urge your support on this great project.
Thank you. Are there any questions from the board at this time?
Just some statements, but go ahead, Supervisor.
Supervisor Vitiello, I think you have a question.
Sure. I've read all the letters, I've listened to people, I've actually called, I've actually met with a lot of people, I've met with the Coolidge. But some of the questions I have is, what is the $600,000 being spent on? I think that's something the public may want to know, so I'm just curious, what is that $600,000?
Absolutely. Thank you, Chairman, Supervisor Vitiello. We have contacted the city of Coolidge, and we have allotted $600,000 to be given to the community. They have identified 2 different projects, and Kyle's here he's been speaking directly with Coolidge about that.
Thanks, John. Supervisor Vitiello, thanks for the question. So far, what we've talked to with Coolidge about, they've identified 2 primary projects for it. The first one is a mobile generator for their adult center there in Coolidge, where they host a whole bunch of activities and also serves as essentially an emergency space in case there's a power outage, and that mobile generator would support that. In addition, as you know, the regional park has a number of unfunded portions of it so far, and in working with the Coolidge staff, they recommended that the lights, which had not yet received funding, be the next priority. Transparently, that is about a $300,000 commitment between those 2 projects. And as Linda mentioned, our contract with SRP is such that it's $1,500 a megawatt or $600,000. And so we have a remainder of $300,000 that we need to find a home for. And we're looking forward to working with either the Pinal County staff or the Coolidge staff to find out exactly what the most impactful donations could be.
Okay, so I thought part of it was also for the transformer at their airport. Didn't they have something at their airport they needed?
When we spoke with them last, what we understood was that there was some work being done by APS at the transformer at the airport. That was not what was brought up at our most recent meeting, which was just a couple weeks ago. If that's next on the list, and we have the rest of that fund to go for it.
So that $600,000 is 100% guaranteed to the city of Coolidge?
The $600,000.
spent however they need it.
The $600,000 is guaranteed by the contract with SRP. It is a requirement to do it. We were unable to enter an agreement with Coolidge to do a contract with them since they're not the zoning authority here. So we went about it with SRP, but fully understand that the benefit of it, the purpose of it, is so that members of Coolidge have a tangible benefit of having this project and NextEra as a neighbor, more so than just making sure the lights stay on. That's exactly right.
Also, it's been mentioned that there's 30 to 50 acre-feet of water used for dust control. That's a lot of water for dust control. Is that a true number? Again, how do I justify 30 to 50 acre-feet? Is there something that you've done, you know how to use? How do I go about understanding how that goes?
Thank you for the question, Chair McClure and Supervisor Vitiello. So we've done this before, and quite honestly, when we went back to our ENC team and we asked, hey, how much water is it going to use? They think it's the 30 acre-feet of water for construction. What we put in there was 30 to 50 to be conservative, because we're not trying to undershoot the numbers, we're trying to be transparent here. I think what's important to note is that that amount is for the construction period only, which is about 14 months, and then the ongoing water use is, as we mentioned, for those oleanders and the other vegetation, which is incredibly low. So if you look at it from a 20-year time frame, which is what our contract is with SRP, we actually only use about 2.4% of the water rights that are allocated to this piece of property. And that's even accounting for taking it down to just 68 acres out of the original 160. So while, yes, I understand that up front, that number might sound a little bit large, it's in line with all other types of construction and is just a small upfront to get a large benefit over the 20 years.
Okay, so I thank you for the trees, the 10-foot walls, the oleanders. I had asked to have those batteries pushed back even further and did not get an answer. I'd like to know where that stands. We had mentioned about the retention basin being put to push these batteries further back from Mr. Wallace's property. Where do we stand on that?
Again, thank you for the question, Chair McClure and Supervisor Vitiello. So as you mentioned, we couldn't swap the locations of the substation and the battery just based on where that transmission line is and SRP's plan. What we did do, took your feedback, consolidate as much as we could, shift them around as much as possible. And while the property line, of course, has not changed, and that's still 500 feet from the northern property line, the actual battery container from Mr. Wallace's property was about 890 and about 900 feet away. So we were able to bring it materially further away from his structures on his property there. And again, transparently, that is actually an augmentation battery, meaning it won't be there day one. That'll be later on in the lifespan of the project when those batteries go in. So again, we've really tried to take in your input as well as the communities, and I think we did the best we could.
Yeah, I mean, appreciate the trees and everything. So there was a comment made that this is a Bartlett Road. Let me go to that one first. Is that going to be an issue down the road for them to expand to 4 lanes? Because it's in their plan. I heard Mr. Scott mention that it may not be able to go to 4 lanes. Is that true, that this couldn't be widened to 4 lanes?
What I can say, Chairman McClure, Supervisor Video, I can say from our project is we're well outside of the right-of-way that's there. I do know that there's, again, that existing transmission line that is already there that may or may not be within the 4-lane wide, but our project is well north of any existing right-of-way.
Okay.
Yep.
And then, again, the issue with the water obviously is a big thing, not so much for the project, but in general, it was mentioned that you'd rather have houses there, economic development, and businesses, which I am 100% for. I guess the question is, without any extra battery or any extra energy, how are they going to do this? So this is just a question that I want you guys to understand, that I'm concerned, without the power, you ain't bringing anything. And you definitely don't have enough water for housing if you're going to bring a lot of houses, 1,700 houses. I know farmland uses a little bit more water, I understand all that, but the trade-off there, and so again, I just was wondering, if you bring economic development, how are you going to power this place? And then my final thing is, who's going to service this area fire-wise? Who is the local fire department that is going to show up there?
Yeah, sure, I'll let Ashley take that. She's been talking with all the fire agencies nearby. I messed up on procedure there. I'm Kyle Whittier, Director of Development at NextEra Energy Resources.
Hello, Hello, Ashley Johnson. I'm the developer on this project. We've been in communication with many of the local fire departments. As you know, this is an unincorporated Pinal County. So we've been in discussions with the Florence Volunteer Fire Department, the Regional Volunteer Fire Department, as well as Rural Metro. So we got a lot of eyes on this project, and we'll make sure that they are adequately responding to any emergency that were to happen.
So no contract?
Well, we need to make sure that we can construct and operate the project first before we sign a contract.
All right, thank you.
Supervisor Goodman, you had a comment?
Yeah, several.
Okay.
You know, when I first elected in 2017, 85% of our population in the community was where I served, in District 2, go outside of our community to go to work. So quality of life for those families has been pretty demeaning, especially since they spend 2 or 3 hours on the road every day, just to and from work. So, and so one of my main reasons for running for this position was to help improve the quality of life for individuals here in our great county that we are in. Been happy to say that we've brought a lot of industry here, and a lot of growth is happening. You mentioned that LG, which is a new plant that's going to be opening here, and Supervisor Surtees in my districts is going to be providing the batteries for this facility, is big. That's huge, which is kind of actually just being able to use your own products that are being built here and going and being used in another location within our county is major. A lot of those employees that are going to be there, there's going to be a large percentage of them are going to probably be from this region, from this particular area as we move forward. The biggest thing is, to Supervisor Vitiello's comments that he just made in regards to, I heard somebody say that you should put more homes here, or you should do this. We've got the city of Coolidge that's come up here and has spoken about their planning area. I've seen planning areas with cities that have gone on for years, them to have planning areas, and that have asked have consideration for these planning areas, and yet there's nothing there. And it's not growing. It hasn't been growing. But in order for it to grow, it's got to have the infrastructure to be able to accomplish that. Energy, power is the biggest thing. And we've got to find it somewhere, because if we're not careful the way we've been growing, we're not going to be able to sustain new growth when it comes to industry, and even with our homes that are being built here, let alone take care of the needs that we currently have. So I welcome projects like this, especially ones that store the energy and then use it at different, rotates all that. We had a work study group a year ago that we had SRP and APS come in and talk specifically to what their needs were going to be. This particular project was on their list of projects that they were going to need to be able to sustain the growth that's going forward. For me, I don't see any other direction, because we really need to be thinking ahead of the game. I like the gentleman that spoke last when he talked about property rights. That's a big thing for myself and for other supervisors on this. The water is scarce in that area. We've heard that. We know that. And this is a good project for that. The location of it is perfect for everything else. So I commend you. I especially commend you for reaching out to the community, the people locally, and getting their involvement, their input. It sounds like you've even been working with the town of Coolidge, coming up with projects and things that you guys could help support the community itself. So that, I commend you for that. So I appreciate that.
That was it?
Want me to go on?
I thought you were still going to go. I don't know.
Okay. I don't have a story this time,
Okay,
so.
okay. All right. Any others who wish to speak before the board? No, I'm sorry. I closed it. Never mind. Don't do that. Don't go there. Sorry. I just got lost in your
Oh, okay, got caught up.
Any other comments from the board? Questions?
Questions or comments?
Either one of those.
Yeah, I'm just thrilled that there's no solar involved. It's just batteries which strengthen the grid. So if there was solar, which is on its way out everywhere, I think, I would be against this.
Okay.
Chairman, I also wanted to point out conditions 3, 5, and 7 also address the right-of-way for roadways. So those are conditions of approval to address that concern.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. With that, no other comments, questions? Thank you, Mr.
Thank you.
Blake. Okay, with that, in that case, I'm looking for a motion for item number 22.
Mr. Chair, I make a motion that we approve item number 22 with one stipulation.
I have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
A motion and a second. Those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
Aye.
Wait, that was a.
Yes.
Aye. Okay, just checking, okay. Just check, okay. Okay. Those are the- I know, he's throwing me off. Okay, I'm hungry. Okay, so all opposed, any opposed? Hearing none, motion passes. Thank you. Okay, item number 23, motion, please.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion that we approve item number 23 as presented with three stipulations.
I have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
A motion and a second. Those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
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 I said aye.
Oh, good, just checking, okay. Opposed? Hearing none, motion passes. Item number 24, motion, please.
Mr. Chair, I make a motion that we approve item number 24 as presented with 23 stipulations.
Second.
Wait. With 20 stipulations.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's approved as presented with 23 stipulations, including stipulations 21, 22, and 23 as read into the record.
I was about to say that. Because I can read. Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion that we approve item 24 with 23 stipulations, including stipulations 21, 22, 23, as read into the record.
Have a motion, is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Hearing none, motion passes. Thank you very much. All right, item number 25 is a public hearing and discussion, approval, disapproval of CSR-009-25. This has Ms. Bedward. There you are. You've been around for a while. How are you today?
I am doing well, thank you, Chair. And yourself?
Very well, thank you. We'll let the room clear before you start in here. That's how you clear a room, you know? Okay, Ms. Bedward, please continue.
Okay, thank you, Chair. Good afternoon, Chairman. Good afternoon, Supervisors. My name is Tanya Bedward, Senior Planner within the Community Development Department. And the proposal I am putting forward to you this afternoon is for the installation of, it's a comprehensive sign package for the installation of a freestanding electronic messaging board sign. And this is a total of 45 square feet. And this is located at the Gold Canyon Resort and Spa, which is located at 6100 South Kings Ranch Road and Gold Canyon. As indicated on the county map, it shows the location of where the sign will be installed in relation to the surrounding area. And this is the vicinity map, which presents represents the overall vicinity of that location. And this provides an aerial overview of the site within which the sign will be installed. The photograph shows that where the requisite notification was installed and placed on the property to invite feedback from members of the public. As it relates to the specification of the sign, as indicated, it's a freestanding sign with an LED, proposed with an LED monitor with a height of 5 feet by a length of 9 feet. And this would be mounted on top a platform of a monument base of a height of 4 feet and a width of 10 feet. And this is a visual depiction of what it would look like in the location it is being contemplated. Staff considered several factors, several criteria as outlined, includes visibility and placement, the quantity, size, illumination, material, and context, as well as other considerations. Just to note that based on what was provided, all the conditions were met, except for illumination, as code requires that signs that are illuminated under the flexibility provision is required to be submitted for the board's consideration and approval. Hence, we're here today. The matter was considered by the Sign Review Committee, which met on the 23rd of September 2025. And at this time, the committee recommended approval of the sign 4-0 and with a stipulation, with 5 stipulations. Just to note that 4 of the stipulations were taken as provided, with 1 amendment as outlined on the slide. The code requires that, speaks to deactivation of the signs at 11 p.m. However, the Sign Review Committee recommended an amendment to deactivation at 10 p.m. rather than at 7. To date, the county has received 4 letters of opposition, and those were provided in the package along with the staff report. And outlined are 2 motions. One, to approve case CSR 009-25 as presented with the 5 stipulations as outlined on the slide, or secondly, motion to deny, and the matter is now placed before the board for its consideration. I'll take any questions, and just to note, Chair, that the applicant is also here, if there are any questions.
Thank you. Any questions for Ms. Bedward this time? No questions. Okay, thank you, Ms. Bedward. Yeah, and the applicant doesn't have a presentation, it doesn't look like.
No, he doesn't.
No, and he's like, no way. Okay, yeah, just check it. Okay, so, yeah, I don't want to do that. Okay, thank you. In that case, I'm going to open the public hearing, and anyone from the public care to speak on this item? I have no cards and 1 public. There we go.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. My name is Terry Lynn Klukar, 5015 East Jacob Waltz in Apache Junction. And I'm opposed to this sign mainly because it doesn't fit in with the aesthetics of the neighborhood. I know you've had 4 letters of opposition. I'm sure there's other people in Gold Canyon who probably aren't going to like this sign once it's up, if it does go up. There is another sign similar down the street that was approved a few years ago, the same LED format with the moving banners and similar time zone or similar time limitations, foot candles, the whole 9 yards. My concern is I looked through the whole entire presentation, and I'm kind of anal on documents. The documents that were, the affidavits that were notarized, as I was reading through, I noticed the name of the notary is a person that I know personally, and she works at the Gold Canyon Golf Resort. So if she's the notary that signed those documents, she's technically a party to the whole project. And legally, she's not allowed to sign those documents. So my question is, why was she allowed to sign the affidavits, being that she does work at the resort? And if there's some explanation to that, I'd like to hear what that is. If not, then I would like to find out if they could have a different notary sign those documents, either continue this case and get a legitimate notary to sign the documents the way it should be signed, because she definitely works at the resort, because I just looked it up on the website just to make sure, and she's the controller at the resort, and she also signed the affidavits. That's all I have.
Thank you. Do you have, my understanding, of course, is that a notary just attests to the fact that the person signing it is the person, is the idea. It makes no difference, and they're not signing anything except to say, yes, that's the person that signed.
Validate anything about the document itself. It's just that this is the person that came before me, this is their ID.
Here's
and
my
they signed
ID,
it.
yep, that looks like you, yes,
Yeah.
and that's all it is. Yes, doesn't make a difference who it is. Right. Okay. Does that answer your question? No. Okay. Are there any other members of the public that wish to speak? Hearing, seeing none, I will close the public hearing. And Ms. Bedward, you're finished with your presentation. You got nothing else? Excellent. In that case, I would ask for a motion, please, unless the board has questions.
I just want to make a comment. The commenter mentioned there's one down the road, and there was a lot of controversy about it, but it's now become part of the neighborhood, and they've actually been trying for this sign for 2 years. That's how slow our system is. And as long as it conforms to dark skies, I don't think there's a problem, and it can be dialed back. If there's complaints, we can dial back and take the brightness down, and it will go off every night also, so. That's it for me.
Okay. Any other comments or questions from the board? Okay, in that case, I would ask for a motion, please, on this item.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion to approve item 25 with 5 stipulations.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Hearing none, motion passes. Thank you very much. Item number 26, discussion of future agenda items. Anybody have anything they'd like to put on the agenda in the future at this time?
Immediate lunch.
Immediate lunch. Okay, we can put that on as item 27. Great. Anything else from anyone? Okay, with that, there's no more business before the board. We're adjourned.